What's up, you mutts? It's another episode of the Kevin Clancy Show. Little late night recording here, almost 11 o'clock. Just put the kids to bed. Desperately don't want to wake them up. I'm so tired myself. And so I'm not going to do what you all think I'm going to do, which is fucking flip out and scream and yell on the podcast like I always do. So I got to try to keep it down while we talk through these topics today, which is probably the way that I should be doing podcasts anyway. Like, this is probably just a normal voice that I should be using. And instead I'm just like 500 decibels higher when I'm out here podcasting. So let's see how it goes. A little late night because I've been jamming. Well, there's a couple of reasons. First off, I'm coming off of a bachelor party weekend where I drank nothing but Miller Lights all weekend long. I mean, literally from I got there Friday morning through Sunday afternoon. I don't think I touched another beverage other than a Miller Lite. Spread them out and enjoyed them responsibly and consistently and maturely, but nothing but Miller Lights because it's the best goddamn beer in the world, especially for something like a bachelor party. We're at the track at Saratoga. We're hitting up the outdoor bars. We're sitting by the pool. Miller Lights, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So I can drink them all weekend long and not be fat and bloated. Always celebrate responsibly, though. Get your Miller Lite brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Miller Brewing Company, and enjoy yourself, whether it's regular day or a full blown bachelor party weekend. But I'm coming off of that, and that, at this age, I ain't gonna be right for like 2 weeks. And secondly, I didn't get a chance to record the episode portion of the show today because I've been banging out interviews, as many as I possibly can, for the Kevin Clancy Show, because this is the Spite Tour. I've been referencing it in a couple of my interviews, and I think I talked about it a little already, but it's Spite Tour 2021 for your boy KFC, where we are going to try to take the Kevin Clancy Show up to that next level by making it the premier sit-down, deep dive, long form interview show here at Barstool Sports. It's a format that we've been severely lacking, where it's not just the 20-minute quick hitter car wash interviews. It's not just the people promoting their books. It's not just, quick questions in and out where you hear the same stories they're telling to every other podcast and every other network and station. I want to do, the hour-long combos where people are just here to talk, shoot the shit, tell their story, grow their brand, and not necessarily to shill and post and promote whatever, shout out to Matt Harvey promoting Qualcomm. If you're a Mets fan, you know what I'm talking about. So the Spite Tour is on because I don't think that many people give the attention to the Kevin Clancy Show or some of the lesser shows at Barstool that we'd all want. There's certain tiers of shows. I'm lucky enough to have one that's been around for a long time, so it's in that higher tier. But I've also got this show in a lower level that I'm trying to grow and bring it up to the same level as KC Radio, and basically I got to do it on my own. So that's what I'm fucking doing. Lit a fire under my ass. If this isn't the mentality of like a workaholic, I don't know what is. I basically have my negotiating tactic here was to like work more. It's like, oh yeah, I'll show you. I'll work extra hard and do more work, and that'll really stick it to you, company. It's like, yeah, man. Okay. They're like, go ahead, go book your own guests, work harder for your own show. But I'm gonna get my Larry Brown on. It's like there's the two types of coaches in this world. There's the Phil Jackson who just takes the top level and slams the door shut, gets the job done with that top level talent. And then there's the Larry Browns who will take the lower franchises, the lesser franchises, with the younger guys who need to grow and learn and take that next leap and go from, a bottom of the basement team to a playoff contender. So that's what I'm doing here at the Kevin Clancy Show. And that's the Spite Tour, where I'm booking as many guests as I possibly can to come through and do these interviews. And, for everybody else here or anywhere out there doing their own podcast, trying to take that jump. This is I'm doing it for you all. I'm doing it for you guys. You know, I'm doing it in the name of every podcast out there. I'm getting too loud. Fuck. Doing it for every podcast out there that's trying to make it to the top. And so today we have the great and powerful Ray Kump on the show. If you are a fan of Tim Dillon, you know Ray Kump. He's Tim Dillon's like close personal friend. And he is just an absolute trip. I mean, it takes a lot for an interview or a podcast or a segment of a show to make my jaw drop. And Ray Kump did that several times. I was like, holy fucking Christ on the cross. Also a very interesting interview if you listen to it. I've done how many interviews now if you've listened to my show and you follow my work? I've done hundreds, if not, 1,000 interviews in my life. And so I know how these things go. I know when you're clicking and I know when you're not. And I know when things are going smooth and when things are kind of awkward. And this interview starts out rocky, where it was like, I'd never talked to him. Only had some Twitter interactions. We DM'd a couple of times. Never spoken to him, though. Only just knew, I've listened to him. He's probably never listened to me. And it was a strange, vibe in the beginning where we're feeling each other out. And then we clicked. And then it just started. It just went. And then we went off the fucking rails doing conspiracy theory talk and crazy, weird sex talk and government talk, internet shit. I mean, it went from like, I don't know if this is great to like, holy shit, this is can't miss stuff. So we got Ray Kump today. I also interviewed Sam Morrell. I interviewed Robbie Berger. We've got Annie Letterman lined up. We got Chris DiStefano coming through. We've got Brendan Schaub on the list, Taylor Tomlinson. I mean, you name it. I've either scheduled it or am reaching out to do it and make sure that the Kevin Clancy show is on the level that I think it belongs and on the level that I know it can be. So here's what I would like. If you are a fan of the Kevin Clancy show, you're a fan of me, or if you're just a fan of the idea of Barstool Sports having a true sit down, deep dive, long form conversation type of podcast, where podcasts were, kind of originally supposed to be. If you could subscribe on the KFC Radio YouTube channel, follow along on the Kevin Clancy show Twitter account, follow me on Instagram, KFC Barstool, leave your comments, tweet at me, comment on the YouTubes, the comics, entertainers, podcasters, internet personalities, all the people you would like to see on the show. Let me know. Also tweet at them, message them, try to connect us. If you're a fan of a certain show, at both of us, tell us we should be doing a show together. I would love to, give you guys what you want, give the people what they want, and turn this into, the show, like I said, that I know it can be. So Ray Kump, back half of this episode. But I got to tell you about this bachelor party, man. Holy moly. I mean, if you could see, I'm a little 3 cheat up right now at the moment, but I got my ass kicked at this bachelor party, and I'm 36 now. So this here is for everyone in my demo, my age bracket, my stage in life where it ain't like it used to be, right? And something like a bachelor party brings me almost as much anxiety as it does fun, where I'm like gonna get the boys together, gonna round them up, gonna be like old times. I'm also sitting there waiting for it to come, like, oh boy, it's coming. The bachelor party weekend's coming, like, buckle up. And this was relatively tame compared to a Vegas trip or some of the crazy shit that people can do out there. This was we went to Saratoga for the weekend, up to the racetrack, and it was a great time. So like I said, for anybody who's in my age group, this one's for you. For anybody who gets together back with the gang and watches everybody dial it back, dig deep, and throw 98 again on the black, and remember, what it once was and what you guys once did, that is that feeling is one of a kind and a great part of it. The other side of the coin, though, is when you do that and it absolutely kicks your ass and you realize it's probably time to hang it up. Maybe I got like one more of those in me, but for the most part, it's probably time to hang it up. Like, I felt like Chet Steadman. I said this on KFC Radio. I felt like Chet Steadman in Rookie of the Year, Gary Busey's character, when he's like, one more, give me one more. And Saratoga gave it to me. And so, I lived a life in my 20s and very early 30s where I start to pack it in. But certainly early, mid, and late 20s, where all of my 20s, that's all of them, Kevin. That's all three parts of your 20s. It was my life. Like, literally, bars and drinking was all that I did. When I wrote my infamous 27-year-old mid-quarter life crisis blog, that was my complaint. I was like, this is all I do with my life. I go to bars, I go to restaurants, I drink. I spend too much money on, good meals that I can't afford. And that's it. And, it went from, drinking shitty beer to I started to, class it up and have some red wine, learned about the wine world. Then I found, martinis, started slugging espresso martinis. So there was this graduation, and the type of bars I went to and the type of experiences, went from dive bars to wine bars, things along those lines. But it was still all the same thing. It was nothing but drinking and hanging out with bartenders, and bar life, knowing the owners and the workers, having your regular spots. And that's all that I did. And so when that goes away, that's an interesting crossroads you're at in life, where it's like, wait a minute, the only thing that I enjoyed and B, I'm kind of good at, I can't do it anymore. And I got to turn down this fucking ring light, man. It's killing me. The ring light makes me bearable looking, but man, right now my eyes are fucking shot looking at that thing. Oof. So, it was being like, well, what do I do now? It honestly felt like an athlete hanging them up. And we'll talk a little bit about that with Simone Biles in a moment. That's the other thing I want to get into today. I was like, what am I without a $300 bar tab on a Sunday afternoon? What am I if I can't get out there and do a bachelor party weekend anymore? It's an identity crisis for sure. When you live your life as like a social, outgoing party guy, and I wasn't some party animal. I wasn't doing drugs and drinking, unheard of amounts of alcohol, but it was just, all that we did. It's kind of like an identity thing where it's like, what, if someone were to ask me, like, what do I do now? I'm like, I live with my kids, I watch them do what they do, and I'm there for that. And I work, the social life is not non-existent in that regard. And so it was fun to play pretend one more time, and man, we were firing on all cylinders. When you get together with your buddies, and I hope this is the same way for you, when you never know, I never know if my gang is as special as I think they are, or if everybody has this experience and so everybody feels this way. But my friends, my crew of guys is like as funny and as charismatic as it comes. These are the guys that, like, they can drink, they can string, they can talk, they can dance, they can woo you. They can do it all. They can sit back. We'll play some beer pong and run guys off the table. We'll play some darts and we run you off the board. We, at the same time, I got my buddy over here twirling some chicks on the dance floor, and you got this guy over there who's got a whole table of chicks, mesmerized as he's stringing them. And it's like, when this team gets going, There's no stopping it. But I'm sure everybody kind of feels that way. And I also personally feel like they're the funniest fucking people in the world. And I think everybody feels that way. I have always said I feel like I'm the Mitch Martin of my crew. That's Luke Wilson's character uh, from Old School, where it's like there's Frank the Tank, who's fucking ridiculous, and there's Vince Vaughn, who's kind of like the slick talking leader of the gang, and I was just Mitch Martin, where it's like, yeah, I guess I hope I fit in with these clowns, and I'm a little bit of a I'm fun in my own right, but I'm also kind of the straight man. I'm just like the regular guy, and so when I see those dudes in action, I'm like, it's like watching Picasso paint. It's like this is what these guys were born to do. But I don't know if everybody is that universal. Does everybody think that? I've said that part of my success here is that I kind of aggregated everything about my friends. Like all of our inside jokes, all of our language and terminology, our slang terms and our jokes and our nicknames and all of that shit. I'm like, this is, you need a dictionary, like a key when you're talking to us. You need like the Rosetta Stone to unlock what the fuck we're talking about. We're the type of guys you meet someone. It's like nobody goes by their real name. Everything is backwards. It's names that don't even make any sense. It's like, hey, this is my friend Vinny. We call him Johnny. What the fuck is that? I don't know. This is the Tin Man. Why? Because he wore a fucking costume 10 years ago, and he dresses the Tin Man, and now he's just been that forever. Just like silly goofy shit like that I think in its own right could be its own fucking TV show. So the gang gets back together, and we're doing that, and like I said, firing on all cylinders. Now what was interesting, where the personal experience for me, highs and lows. On the one hand, never in my life had I experienced the level of attention I got at the Saratoga racetrack this weekend for my career, because by now I am used to, if I go to certain places, I'm well recognized, and it's one of the most awkward. I would venture to guess it's one of the most awkward like life situations that anybody can go through, because if you were in the right places as a Barstool person, in that moment you are famous. No quotes, no exaggeration. It's fame. There are certain people that think you are the end all be all, and then you go somewhere else. If I go to hipster Brooklyn, nobody knows who the fuck I am. I go to a Broadway show, nobody knows who the fuck I am. I go to Murray Hill. I go to the Upper East Side. I go to a place like the Saratoga racetrack, and everybody is a Barstool reader, and everybody is a Barstool fan. And it's as, I'm as intriguing to these people as it gets. That's always weird for me, because part of me just, I don't know, it's the lack of self-esteem. It's the imposter syndrome. It's the pessimism, all that shit, where I'm like, me, what the fuck you got? What could you possibly care about me? But they do. And it's flattering, and it's cool. And it's been something that I've gotten used to over the years, because people read the blog, people listen to the podcasts. But this is the first time I have been out there in one of those places since the advent of the 1 Minute Man. And as many people listen to the podcast and as many people that read the blog, everybody has Instagram, and everybody has at least seen 1 Minute Man, or had it DM to them, or they're passing it along. And so, as much attention as I got used to over the years, this was times 100, times 100,000. I didn't know what to do. It was, and I'm that much older now. So there was a time where it was like I'm mid 20s, and I had guys who were mid 20s coming up to me. So we were just obviously, same person, same type of guy, but we're on the same page as far as I'm as drunk as he is. We're both enjoying the situation at the bar, the game, whatever. And so, we're just all on the same page, and it makes sense. Now it's like I'm 36 and I'm talking to some 18-year-old dude. And in the same breath, his girlfriend now knows who I am and wants to say what's up. And then I've got, older people chiming in, being like, "Oh, my kids watch your listen to your podcast, and I love your 1 minute, man, because it's, it helps me connect to them because I don't know what the fuck these stories are about, but you break it down for me." And so now I'm talking to every cross section of society, basically. And I'm not as drunk as I once would have been, and they are, and that's cool. But I'm like, oh man, when you're sober, talking to drunk people, it's the fucking worst. And uh, and so there's that element, and then yeah, there's the element like I'm when I'm not drunk and partying, and they are. I don't know how to control myself. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get in and out of these situations. At one point, my friends told me it was like a communion line. It was like I was giving communion at church. There was a line of people. It's one thing when you're standing at the bar, you're posted up, people walk by, or they belly up to the bar, they see you and they say, "What's up?" Or they walk by and it's a little awkward, and you kind of develop like a sixth sense for these things where it's like, I can feel you looking at me. So, go on, just come over and take a picture or whatever. This was just like one person said, "Can I get a picture?" And another person followed, and then they lined up like I had a fucking table at a convention center. And I was like signing, 8.5 by 11s and taking pictures for like an extra $20 or something like that. I mean, it was like, oh, I should have started just, pouring some Miller Lite into their mouth, and also with you and with your spirit. Spiritu Sante, and then which is fine and it's cool and it's flattering, but I almost felt bad for my friends. It's like we're all kind of standing around in a circle, we're talking, we're meeting other people. There's a bachelorette party. There's some of these guys that I do know are cool or whatever, and then all of a sudden there's this like these people intruding, and the ego, it's cool and it's fine, but then these people who like one guy, the first interaction I had, I was walking down these steps. He was on like a balcony type of thing, a level up. And he's like, "Yo, KFC, no way, man." He goes, "Can I get a picture?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm on these stairs. I'm down here. You're up there. There's people trying to get up and down the stairs, but like, I guess so." And he goes, "Okay, let's take a picture. And then also I need a 5-minute conversation with you." No, the fuck you do not, dude. What? I need a 5-minute combo with you, pal, in the middle of this loud, crowded bar while you're trying to enjoy yourself and be there with friends that you want to be with. What? For sure not. Again, super flattering, and I wish I could give everybody that if that's something you're into. But no, dude. He drops his phone, and the bouncer's like, "You guys got to get the fuck off these stairs." I'm like, sure. Yes, kick me off. All good, man. And then you get the guys. Here's a new one. Here's a new thing they're doing. They do a drive-by. They walk by and they just kind of throw their elbow at me and just like bump me, and not in like a dickhead way, not in like they're causing a fight way. It's almost like they're just like looking to see if it was me. So if I would turn around and nod, or they get a better look at me. I don't know what it is, but they just give me a little nod multiple times. It's like, what? Why are you doing that, man? And then like the funniest interaction I had was this dude who said to me, he's fucking hammered, man. And he's like almost like crying in a sense, because he's just all over the place, sloppy drunk. And he finally gets out, "I just want to thank you, man. You provided years of endless pleasure. You provided me with years of endless pleasure." Like, praising, man. And yes, I guess it is that. It's free pleasure, but fuck, that sounded awkward, dude. And you got the guy who says, the girlfriend's like, "You want to get a picture?" And he's like, "Oh, come on, I don't even want this picture." And then they're standing there and they're like, put the flash on, but they get the angle right. I don't even want to be here, man. I don't want to take this picture. Yeah, a little bit higher. Take two. Totally. I mean, what? I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. Like, yeah, well, then you wouldn't be doing it. If you were in the inventor of Facebook, you would have invented Facebook. If you didn't want to take the picture, you wouldn't be taking the picture. And it was just an entirely different level of exposure that I'm not used to. You know, Dave has become a full-blown actual famous person, and Dan's star is burning brighter than ever. I'm sure he gets it when he's out on the road. But this to me was the first time, and just COVID too. It's like the first time since 1 Minute Man, but also the first time I've been out there in 18 months, and all of it combined, where I could not believe it. And that is where that was all cool and exciting, flattering, great to watch my friends, like I said, back in action. And then came the depressing part where I just realized, man, I just don't got it anymore. I just don't got it anymore. I felt like I should have taken off my hat and gloves and folded them up and put them in the middle of the bar and walked out like the fucking Undertaker, man. I really felt that way. And the worst part is, it had nothing to do with drinking. I was not too drunk. I was fine in that department. I had to go home strictly because I was physically incapable of doing it. I was I was like, I took myself out of the game. I was DNP coach's decision, and I'm the coach. I physically couldn't handle it anymore. And at one point, so we went to the track at Saratoga, and I realized, by the way, horse racing does nothing for me. I'm obviously not betting enough to get the juice flowing on the losses or the wins. So, and I don't really, watching the actual horse race just doesn't do it for me. God bless you if you do love it. I liked being there. We weren't up in like the grandstands with like the famous, the Daves of the world. I was down there with the plebeians. We're just like slugging Miller Lights, hanging out. Some people dressed up, some people scuzzing it up. Doesn't matter. So tired, by the way, man. And so we go to the track. We're there for, all of the races for the afternoon. And then we hit up this bar called the Horseshoe. And I was there for 10 hours, and everybody else kind of peeled off. This person took a nap. This person went home. This person went and sat down. I didn't do any of that. I stayed up and at them. Me and, one other dude in my gang who he's like the Energizer bunny, never stops. So I never even never got a breather. Didn't take myself out of the game. I'm Wilt Chamberlain at this point, the year that he averaged like 50 minutes a game, because he played every single minute of every game, even including overtime. So he averaged like 50 minutes per game on a 48-minute game season. And I may get to like 11, 12 after, starting up at like 12 or 1. And I'm laughing to myself because I'm standing around in this circle, and it's me and let's see, like 2 or 3 other guys. We've got a good mix of obviously somebody getting married, one of the last ones to bite the dust. Then you got newlyweds, and you got some guys who are married but don't have kids yet. And then you got the family men. And so I'm standing there with the dads of the crew, and everybody's kind of like looking like I'm looking now, like heavy eyes, bloodshot, tired, and sipping on a Miller Lite, but we don't really have it anymore. And everyone's kind of doing this, like stretching, like pulling. Let me see if you can hear it as I crack. Oh yeah, I'm cracking my bones. And some of my friends, by the way, all my friends are in great shape. Fuck them, man. If you listen to the old school KFC radio and read the blog early on, all my friends are cross country runners. And I was always like, you guys are fucking dorks, dude. Fucking cross country runners, losers. And now who's the loser now when all those guys are still in great shape, mid-30s, couple kids, working their asses off, and they look lean, trim, and I'm sitting here skinny, fat, fucking sedentary blogger. I mean, I got one friend who, in Crazy Stupid Love, when Emma Stone looks at Ryan Gosling, goes, are you fucking photoshopped? I had a friend who legitimately might be the hottest person I've ever seen with my own eyes. He's just a regular fucking dude. And I'm like, I didn't want to take my shirt off. Me and my one buddy were the only guys we're playing cornhole, hanging out at the pool, and all my friends are busting my balls. Like, you notice how these two assholes won't even take their shirt off? Because I was like, I can't even be around these fucking guys. So anyway, they're all in great shape. And even they are the ones are standing there going like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I'm telling you, man, my feet, my calves, my back were in shambles. Shambles. I had to tap out. I was laughing to myself because at this point, I'm stretching. I'm in the middle of the bar. I'm doing like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I'm touching my toes. I'm doing these things where you pull your fucking leg back if you're watching on YouTube to stretch out your quad. You know, you reach back, you pull your ankle up, and you get that good stretch in your quad. I'm doing, I'm basically doing like calisthenics, stretching it out. And I'm laughing to myself because I was like, bro, I told the groom, I'm like, I got to tap out. I hate to do this to you. And he's like, you fucked up, man. And I was like, I am. Not how you think. I am perfectly sober. Not perfectly sober. I wasn't sober, but I was pacing myself. I was enjoying my Miller Lite responsibly, and I was good to go. I was just chuckling like, dude, my feet don't work. And I was so, I mean, how embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? Come on. Come on. Come on. I mean, that's fucking mortifying that you can't hang at the bachelor party because it's physically too taxing. And I realized if I was going to be at a bar, I'd be up there, for fucking 12 hours, right? But I'd be shit faced. And I'm on the move. I was like a shark at the bar. I couldn't, if I stood still, my feet I felt like I was going to collapse. I had to keep moving. So I decide to tap out. I get to the Uber, I sit down. Now I've taken like the relief. I've taken the stress off of my feet. I'm relieved now. My lower back can finally like exhale, my calves, my hamstrings, my feet are all relaxing. Then I get back to the house and it's time to get back on my feet. I kid you not, dude. I had to hobble into the house. I looked like an old man. If you remember this reference, in the movie Aladdin, when Jafar is pretending to be the old man who can't go into the Cave of Wonders, so he needs a young buck like Aladdin to go down there for him and bring him the lamp. And Jafar has got the little old crooked fucking cane, and he's got the beard, and he's bald, and he's hunched, literally folded over, and he's like hunched. He's like, "Come here, young man." That was me, strictly because I was at a bar for too long. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I knew that I knew I lost a step. I knew that I lost all my steps. I knew that I was out of the game, but I didn't know I physically couldn't stand up anymore. Gravity won. Gravity kicked my ass, man. And I got home. I hopped in the hot tub, 103 degrees, bubbles going. I ordered 3 cheesy gordita crunches and 2 12 taco party packs. I texted the group. I said, to make amends for my shortcomings tonight, here is 24 tacos. I ate the 3 cheesy gordita crunches. I theragunned my feet. There was a dude who brought a theragun on the party, which is like the only guy more washed up than I was him. And I started massaging my feet. And I swear it was the most pleasurable thing that's ever happened to me at a bachelor party. Forget about, strippers and hookers and finding randoms and anything that, happens in your hangover-esque bachelor parties. Just massaging my feet. I could have come from that on the spot. And it was, it takes a lot for me to consider. Now's the time I really have to diet and change. And I probably still won't. But this one was like, I was embarrassed. It was like, this can't be. Because I see, there's like these 50-year-olds who were at Saratoga, 50, 60, white hair people. People go to the Bordy Barn. People go back to Parker House. And they're like, we met here, 30 years ago. And now we're just having like a little trip back. And they dial the clock back and do it. If I can't stand up and hang at the bar now, what am I going to do 30 more years from now? unless I just get a Rascal Electric Mobility. Imagine that, just me on a fucking, me and a little Stephen Hawking, just cruising around town in my Rascal. Wouldn't hate that. Don't mind that at all. But that was my identity crisis, my physical crisis. I was like, my back is still shot. You know me, I got the plates in there, cadaver bones, but man, the feet. Oh, it's gonna haunt me to this fucking till the day I die. It was. I felt like an old man who, you know. Oh, and there was this moment too. I walked by this house that had a Barstool flag up, and I decided I'm gonna run up in that house. I'm gonna open up this door. I'm gonna run up to that top porch, and I'm gonna fucking wow these guys. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit, it's KFC!" And that was one of those things that plays out cooler in your head than it does in reality. I thought it was gonna be like, you know, when you see Taylor Swift like jumped into some stranger's wedding, and it was so memorable. It wasn't. It did not play that way for your boy KFC. Had a bunch of girls at the party being like, I don't know who this guy is. A couple girls being like, where's Dave? You go to Saratoga, you're from Barstool Sports, and you ain't Dave Portnoy. Nobody gives a fuck. They ain't looking for you, brother. I had a few guys being like, okay, cool. Like, get the fuck out. I mean, just one of those. That was a good, you know, perfectly balanced as all things should be. I got guys telling me, thanks for the pleasure. And I'm giving, you know, I got a receiving line, like I'm at a fucking wake, shaking everybody's hand before they go pray before the dead body. I'm the dead body, by the way. And then I got, you know, this house full of people who were like, yeah, you're not Dave, man. Get out. And yeah, that was, I felt truly old trying to keep up with the young bucks and keep up with the trends. I've done a good part. I think I've done good for the most part in that, as far as knowing what's going on in pop culture and keeping up with fashion trends, what you're supposed to wear or not wear, and like, and of course, keeping up with your hygiene and your Manscaped. As long as that Manscaped landscaping is on point, when you're 36, 46, 56, 106, you can still play. It's, you know, the old adage, if there's grass in the field, play ball. It's the opposite. When there's no grass on the field, you can play ball. You get that Manscaped going, and you will stay in tune with what is expected of you from the ladies and the men and anybody who you're in bed with. Manscaped has all sorts of new technology, as well as extra accessories to keep you clean, smooth, no hair, hygienic, smelling good for your partner. Right now, they got the Lawnmower 4.0 in business. Obviously, it's the fourth generation with nick-proof technology. It's waterproof. It's got the light to shine bright. And so, you know, you are in this summer, if you're trying to not be sweaty, a sweaty, hairy mess, you don't want no bush. Manscaped is the option for you. They've got the lawnmower, they've got the ball toner and the ball deodorant. They've got a little DOP kit that they call a little toiletry bag, and you keep it all in. They've got boxers to do moisture wicking. It's just the one-stop shop for like your dick and balls to look and smell good. That's really what it's about. I use it for my chest and everything else, back of my neck, all those things. But this company said, we're going to focus on your dick and balls. That's what this is for. You know, there's other companies to get your dick hard. We're the company that's going to make it look pretty. You do functional, we'll do pretty. And they said, let's make your cock and balls look pretty. And that's what they do, man. Got a pretty dick, got pretty balls. And right now you can get it for a pretty sweet discount as well. When you go to manscaped.com/ promo code Clancy and get 20% off plus free shipping. That's manscaped.com, promo code Clancy, 20% off plus free shipping. I was old and washed up, trying to milk it out one last time. That's what Simone Biles was doing at the 2020, quote unquote, 2020 Toyota Olympics, Tokyo Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics. Simone Biles is out here as a 24-year-old, and she pulls out of the team all-around final. and it is the story, the big hubbub. Gymnastics is always obviously the main, well, that and track and field are the main stories from the Summer Olympics. But this was the drama and intrigue through the roof on this one. Simone Biles pulls out, and I can't wrap my head around the people who are giving her shit, because straight up, it's not regular sports. She's not a regular athlete. It's not a regular set of circumstances. And so you cannot judge her actions as if it was anybody else or any other situation. Gymnastics is a weird fucking world that has been marred by sexual abuse and overworking young girls and like keeping them a prisoner of their own talent. And that's different than any other game out there and any other athlete, you know. And also, a huge important factor of this is that this is a sport that everybody pretends to really care about for 2 weeks every 4 years. And I don't doubt that people are interested in it. They are. But you don't watch the world championships in the years in between. You don't know anything else about other medals and, you know, first place finishes they've got. You don't give a fuck. So stop acting like you do. And then 2 weeks rolls around every 4 years, and you're all of a sudden, if Simone Biles doesn't play for Team USA, she's, you know, abandoning her team and an absolute failure. It's like, come on, fuck off. If this was the Olympic badminton team, you wouldn't care. Okay. It's kind of the same way. Obviously, gymnastics is more important, but at the end of the day, it gets the same level of attention that some of these other events get for a blink of an eye every, half a decade. So fuck off acting like it really affects you. It doesn't. This is not your favorite basketball team, football team, baseball team. This doesn't really affect you. I defended Simone Biles. I said, I'm totally cool with her doing this. And a lot of people who are probably, casual racist or casually sexist or just overall assholes who don't understand, what it takes and what she's going through, mental health, all that shit. They've got a problem with it. Simone's not a competitor. She's not a teammate. She bailed on her team. It's all because of mental health. And that's the pussy way to be. And then I get these guys saying, why are you white knighting for her? Why are you simping for her? And at the end of the day, Simone Biles was sexually assaulted by Larry Nassar in the sport that she dedicated her life to. And that's the sport we're talking about today. And she's been vague about it. She talked about how she was touched inappropriately and that at first she didn't think it was assault and she was ashamed and didn't speak on it. And then when she finally did, she said, am I being, overly sensitive, or is this assault? And everyone's like, no, man, that's assault. You should not be touched in that way. You should not be getting quote unquote special treatment. That's assault. And she was openly saying, I didn't quote get it as bad as some of her teammates, and which is just so sickening that she has to think that way. And I understand there are levels to this, and Larry Nassar, some of the shit he did was absolutely abhorrent, repugnant, disgusting, vile, despicable, truly like one of the most horrific monsters to ever live. Lock him up, set him on fire. I want him, shout out to Sons of Anarchy. Remember, spoiler alert, when Damon Pope, he set Tig's daughter on fire in that pit. I wouldn't be upset if that happened to Larry Nassar. And so she said that, she experienced this because of this sport. And so if at any moment, any of those girls decided, I'm fucking done with this sport, man, I have no problem with that. I will simp and white knight for that person and defend that till the day I die. Any girl who goes through that, any person, guy, girl, whatever, who goes through that and then eventually decides, you know what, like that happened to me because of how demanding and obsessive and controlling this sport gets. So fuck it. I'm not doing it today, or I'm not doing it ever again. I'm cool with that. That's fine with me because, shout out Rico Bosco. There are some things that are bigger than sports. And, these girls' lives get ruined by a sexual abuse monster like Larry Nassar, or they get ruined in a less serious but still like heartbreaking way from a overly controlling coach or parents who make them, dedicate their entire life to it. And you miss your entire childhood. And if at some point you finally, the light bulb goes off and you don't want to do it anymore, fuck it. Don't want to do it. I got a lot of people in a circular way saying, when I defended her, people were saying, well, you're acting like she's got a gun to her head and that she has to be an Olympic gymnast. She doesn't have to be. So why, she's putting herself through this. Like, why do I have to have sympathy? She doesn't have to do this. Well, look at your reaction when she tried not to. People say, what? They're not keeping a gun to your head. They basically kind of are, because look at your reaction. If this girl just said, I don't want to do this, and the world said, okay, respect it, then that's a different story. But she was like, I don't want to do this. And everyone's like, you're letting your country down. You let your teammates down. You're a bag of shit. Your legacy's tarnished. So, it's not exactly a gun to your head, but it's not as easy to just walk away as you're fucking characterizing it. And then the comparisons come out. And if you want, I sum a lot of this up on 1 Minute Man. It was a 6 Minute Man this week because I just needed to get it off and defend her on every which way. When they say she's not a competitor, well, look at everything else she's done. 35 fucking medals, like the most medals in one world championship ever, the most world championship titles ever, the largest margins of victory. She's a dominant assassin in there. And for those who don't understand, the scoring in gymnastics is so fucked up and has not even caught up to Simone Biles' level. So she is trying these tricks, moves that are so difficult that the scoring system has not even begun to reward her properly for it. And she's competing against and with these other girls who are so not on her level that, of course, she's like, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm just going to do the individual because that's all I've got the mental capacity for. Fine. It's like, I'm going to do the Kevin Clancy show and do the Spite tour because I want this. And the rundown, I might skip it that day because I got to focus on this. I think there's no problem with that. And the comparisons that start to come out to other sports are just crazy because it's not the same. If Simone Biles goes out there and she's not right, it's not like, oh, you had a bad day and you shot 9 of 20 from the field and, you had an ugly day from the free throw line and you only scored 19 points. No. You go out there and try to do what she does and you're not like, you don't have your hand-eye coordination and your mental matched up to your physical. You're breaking your fucking neck, okay? You're done. I think I was reading that she had some sort of vertigo event where, she wasn't tumbling the proper way and didn't overly, all the way rotate, and like it fucked her up. Because when you're 24, your brain is telling you not to do that kind of shit anymore. When you're 10, you're like, yeah, let me fly through the air, flip 50 times because I don't know, my brain doesn't know otherwise. And I'm 65 pounds and I'm limber and I can do all those things. And I've got my dad and my mom and my coach telling me that I have to do it or I don't get fucking, dessert. Those are the kids that are supposed to be doing that shit because it's such a fucking far-fetched, preposterous thing to do to your body that the only way you could do it is if you were a dumb kid who's getting, pushed around by the adults in the room. She's 24. She has her brain telling her, don't do this anymore. It's dangerous. And I really believe that. I feel like when your brain makes that switch, I think you have to hang them up because you can't go out there and do it with having an ounce of doubt in your mind. And it's physiological at that point. It's probably chemical. It's not like a mental, it's mental health, but it's not in the sense of like, I just don't feel comfortable or I'm sad or depressed. It's like your brain is telling you, the message is being sent, don't fucking do this shit anymore. And if you try to power through that, you end up seriously fucking injured. So it's not the same. And it's not the same as other athletes. Don't compare him to Michael Jordan because she's a young girl who was facing a sexual abuse in the sport. How is that not being talked about? I mean, it's talked about, but it's like not being talked about more, that she was like directly one of the people involved. And that's the main reason why she was there in Tokyo, which is an unbelievable. She said, I want to be there because I want to hold Larry Nassar accountable. And I'm the last active elite superstar from his era who he fucked with and ruined lives. And I want to make sure that they throw the book at him and they're not lax on their punishment. And if I'm out here and I'm still in the Olympics, still with a spotlight on me, that will make sure that the USGA fucking does what they need to do to punish him. That's why she's here. She openly said, I think that's what it ultimately comes down to for me, that this girl chose to continue on to one final Olympics. It would really only be her second, but age-wise, going past what, the usual age for a gymnast is. She chose to do that mainly for one reason, and that's to fight sexual assault and fight Larry Nassar and make sure that, he's punished and that the sport makes the right changes, and I'm sure, listen, that's not the only reason. I'm sure she wanted to defend her title and defend her Olympic runs and make more money and all that shit, no doubt. But when you hear her say quotes like, my favorite thing about it was my time off, you don't get the impression that she really wanted to do this. And when you realize that she's 24 and her entire life is like hanging out with like younger teenage girls and around these creepy coaches, it sounds like she really wanted to do something else with her life. She made her money. She made her mark. She's already the best. She's doing things that nobody else can do. She's like Billy Madison playing dodgeball when he goes out there. Now you're all in big trouble and just smokes everybody. Let me ask you this. If you were playing basketball, okay, with little kids on the blacktop, that's Simone Biles when she goes out there. She's just that much better than everyone else when she's right, okay? That's you playing on the blacktop, right? What if you got injured, physically or mentally? You tweaked your knee and you're like, oh my God, wait a minute, I almost fucking blew out my knee. I'm not gonna play with these little fucking children and risk, I need surgery on my knee. I'm just done here. And those little kids are like, you're a quitter, man. It's like, I don't give a fuck about you guys. I'm so much better than you. I've dominated you my whole life. And now I'm going to go sit down because it ain't worth the struggle. Or mentally, if I was smoking these fools, O'Doyle rules style, just fucking dominating you. And, I don't know, my fucking family dies. I get some bad news. Mentally, I ain't right. I'm just like, I don't want to do this. This is not important to me anymore. I've shown what I can do to you assholes. I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's Simone Biles. Okay. So that's not why she's here. She's proven it on every level. She said her main focus here is to make sure that Larry Nassar gets punished the way he should. And I don't know if that means, I don't even know. I think he's already been sentenced and that it's not like that's still up for debate, but I think it's more about the overhaul of the sport. I would love if Simone Biles, if her main thing was like, I wanted to do this all along. I wanted to come back for one more Olympics to do two things. One, I wanted to make sure that the sport overhauls the way they handle sexual abuse. And two, I want to make sure the sport overhauls the way they handle these kids mentally and these asshole coaches and the pressure that's put on by the country and the parents and the judges and the coaches. Like, and I did those two things, like some Life of David Gale shit. You ever see that movie? Spoiler alert. He ends up, dying in the name of stopping the death penalty. I won't give you any more than that. It's a great movie. You should go watch it. Making the ultimate sacrifice to prove their great points, like their greater point about the whole thing. I hope that's what Simone Biles did. Like, the only reason I'm here is to stop the sexual abuse and stop, the rampant mental torture that goes on with teenage girls. And that's why, that was her plan all along. I would love that. So I don't think it's about, punishing Larry Nassar. It's about, Larry Nassar's gone now and people think that it's all fixed. And I'm sure there's still some creeps out there or people that deserve to be punished or called out. And if it's not Simone Biles and that generation of girls doing it, then maybe it never happens. That person, I will never criticize. You can call that simping and white knighting. But if you tell me your main reason is to get back here to fight sexual assault, then I will not criticize the way in which you go about that final go round. because that's obviously much bigger and much more important than any of the competition part or the sports part. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like. Everyone else is like, oh, I played sports. I would never bail on my team. Oh yeah. Have you ever taken on, like, the cross that you bear ever been the fight against sexual assault of young women in an entire industry and an entire sport? No. So then shut the fuck up about it. And for the people talking about double standards about the way we treat our men and male females being like, oh, you wouldn't say this if it was a male athlete. You want to talk about double standards when it comes to the treatment of men and women athletes? How about this U.S. fencer that has been accused of sexual assault, and they just have a safety plan in place, allowing him to then continue to compete. They just have a plan in place to make sure that no women go around this guy because he's a fucking creep being investigated for sexual assault, but he's allowed to go to the Olympics and compete. No one's talking about that. U.S. fencing alternate. He's a fucking alternate too. He's not even good. So it's like, why do we, not that should really matter if you sexually assault people, but in this case, it's like, why even bother with this? Alan Hadzik. He's under investigation for at least 3 accusations of sexual misconduct reported by the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, which is a nonprofit agency tasked with protecting athletes from abuse. So 3 of these investigations brought on from the IOC. 6 women fencers, including 2 Olympic athletes, wrote a letter describing Hadzik's selection as a direct affront to those accusing him, which they said that could put fellow athletes at risk. There's a long history of allegations. Let me open that up. So, because they are allegations, I want to get it right. Everybody has a right to due process and, being fair. Let's see what exactly they were. This guy does look like, so Hadzik is one of 24 Olympics fencers. He's a 29-year-old from Montclair, New Jersey. He was suspended from international competition, and they fought to get that lifted through an arbitration process. And then ultimately he was allowed to compete in the games. The complaints were no secret in the close-knit fencing community. Interviews with 30 current and former USA fencers and officials, including 3 women who have formally accused Hadzik of sexual misconduct, as well as a cache of documents obtained by BuzzFeed News, shows a pattern of alleged sexual misconduct and violent behavior going back to 2010 when he was at Columbia University. 3 women filed reports, yada, yada. So this doesn't really detail all of, he of course denies it, says they're untruths, that he never committed any acts. The point here is that if Sha'Carri Richardson can't compete because she smoked some weed, and this guy is allowed out there to the point that they need a safety plan in place. I mean, listen, I do understand it that, if nothing's been proven, you can't just, if someone could just make up allegations and then you miss out on your dream and you don't get to compete in the Olympics. I understand there's a problem there. When you have 30 different cases, well, there's a lot of smoke. There's probably a decent amount of fire, and you got to do the investigation and whatnot. But how are you still able to just go on when you got guys who can't even, hit the blunt? It's like, give me a fucking break. Let me see if I can read some of these. Man, so this says a former teammate said that when they were walking home from a bar, she witnessed Hadzik kick a homeless person while they were sleeping on the ground and then laugh about it. It said he would turn on and off like a light switch with a lot of aggression. Their last physical encounter during a sexual encounter in his dorm room, she told him she wanted him to stop. He berated and pressured her to continue. Looking back at what happened when she was 18, she came to understand that it was definitely a form of sexual coercion. There's just some dark, weird stories about him. Said he was a little too pushy, so don't get close to him. Don't be near him at parties. Don't be near him at the bar. According to 12 women who knew him, they all said the same thing. Allegations include following him into their bedrooms at night and parties, ignoring multiple rebuffs while trying to kiss them, touching them without consent. his MO was to find, according to 10 different sources who fenced with him, his MO was to find the drunkest woman at the party, preferably a first-year student, because, quote, she'll do whatever you want, and then, kind of force your way into it. He tried to take advantage of this girl who was feeling nauseated and drunk from drinking too much. These are just weird, creepy stories of classic, college guys kind of forcing themselves on girls. And anyway, he's allowed to just go out there and compete, and Sha'Carri Richardson can't smoke a little bit of weed. There's a problem with the system, man. And I think that's what Simone Biles is trying to do. Stand up for, obviously fencing in different sports. It's not exactly tied into gymnastics, but I think this is her point of like, we need to overhaul this whole system. I'm that bitch right now, so everyone's listening to me. So I'm going to go one more time and make sure that they get it done the right way, because this is the kind of shit that happens when you don't pressure them. No one's looking at fencing. And so this guy who, has dozens of complaints about sexual misconduct, he gets to go out there and play, no big deal. That's why she's out here, and that's what she's doing. And me personally, I'm gonna stay out of that one and let her do her thing, whether she competes or not, because that, my friends, that's not like, pick and choose your battles when you're fighting online and sending tweets to argue about sports. This ain't the one, man. This is not the example to talk about how soft it is or how this is bad for the sport or American athletics. Like, this is something way fucking bigger than that, man. So don't be the fucking asshole who's arguing sports when there's something much, much bigger going on. The reason she's here is a noble one, an admirable one to lock up and forget about, put away a horrific monster who terrorized little girls. That's why she's here, which is an awesome reason, but it's not the right reason to be out there flipping and tumbling and doing your events. You're not here for the competitive reasons, and that's fine by me, but that's also where it gets dangerous. And so, like, don't tell me she's not a teammate. Don't tell me she let her team down. She did this for the entire country and multiple, generations of other gymnasts and her other teammates who were assaulted and had their lives ruined. She's like, I'm doing this for you guys. So don't say that she's selfish. Don't say that she's not a good teammate. And again, you can't compare to grown-ass men in professional sports making millions, playing a sport that's not, as dangerous. Certainly, obviously football and other sports can compare, but some of them cannot as far as the danger level and the safety level. And also, I'm so every fucking time I hear this, I want to explode. If I hear one more time, Michael Jordan would never quit due to mental health issues. Michael Jordan literally quit due to mental health issues. The dude retired from the sport because his father was murdered. And I know, we can talk about the conspiracy that he was serving a secret suspension, but there's no doubt that even if that was the case, the guy's dad was murdered. He was fucked up from it. He wanted to go do some silly shit to basically be a kid again and go play baseball and fulfill his dad's dream. I mean, that's some mental health shit, man. That's a guy going through some mental health issues who walked away from his team to do it. So bad fucking example. She's not a millennial, so stop calling her a fucking soft millennial. And guys like Michael Jordan did quit because of mental health issues. So stop with that comparison as well. And, people say, well, did he quit in the middle of an NBA Finals game? No, but he quit in the middle of a dynasty after years of dominance where he proved what kind of competitor he was and what kind of performer he was. Which is exactly what Simone did. Years and years and years of her proving exactly who I am and what I can do and what I'm capable of and what I've achieved. That's what Michael did. That's what Simone did. And in both cases, they walked away after that dominant dynasty run. And it would almost be like, because she's still competing in the individual. And I know some people think like, oh, well, why'd you pick that over your team? Well, at the end of the day, gymnastics is an individual sport. There's a team element, sure, but you go out there alone. You do your routine. You do your tricks. I keep calling them tricks. I don't know what the fuck they're called. It's an individual sport, and that is the pride. That is the top of it all. So if, MJ had sat out like the Olympics, but focused on the finals, I think that's a better comparison. And that's kind of what she's doing. If she lost it and just said, I only have the capability to handle one thing right now, and I'm picking the individual, then fucking rock on. Let her do that, man. Because at the end of the day, it's also just her goddamn choice. And we romanticize sports and competition, and we think you have a duty. People keep talking about her duty. And I get that, because there are, if a guy in the Mets just bailed during the World Series, I'd be like, the fuck? Like, you have some sort of responsibility to your teammates and your fans. I get all that. But anybody who has a real reason, like, I don't know, I'm about to have a mental fucking psychotic break because I've been suppressing all of my hurt and anguish over sexual abuse and tormenting me, basically making me like train and work at the age of, as a teenager, and I just can't do it anymore. If you have a valid reason for it, then at the end of the day, it's like quitting a job. It's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And people are like, you can't do that. Well, why the fuck not? Just because you don't like it? I don't give a fuck if you like it. I'm not harming anybody. These girls still went on to win the silver medal. You know what? Suni Lee probably fucking loved it. Everybody knows the name Suni Lee now. She's the girl who stepped in, and everybody still got it done, got a silver medal. They didn't get gold. Yeah. They still get the silver medal, had their time to shine. And if you watch their post-game press conference, everybody's fine. Everybody wanted to make it like Simone bailed on her team and hates them. And in return, all her teammates, think that she's lazy scum. Meanwhile, she stayed on the floor. She's rooting all her teammates on. And in the post game, she was like, yeah, I'm having some mental health issues. And all of her teammates were like, yeah, we've been there too, man. They're probably like, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. They're all smiling and happy because they're like teenage girls who are just like, yeah, that's my friend. And I want what's best for her. And then we got these fucking slobs sitting on their couch being like, she's a bitch and her fucking teammates know it and hate her. I'm like, relax, dude. Relax, Regina George. This is just a crew of girls who, do flips together, who like each other, who want the best for each other. And you're trying to turn it into, a fucking World War III between them. It's crazy. These are, she's of age, obviously 24 years old now, a full, woman, but a lot of these are children that are gymnasts that you have now decided is like the most important thing in the world to you. And what they owe you and owe the country and shit. Like, shut the fuck up, you weirdos. People they were trying to call me the weirdo for, defending these girls. It's like, okay, if that makes me weird, so be it. I will defend young women who have been sexually assaulted by their coaches and chosen, to not participate in that sport anymore if they don't want to. Yeah, okay, hand up. I'm the weirdo. I'm the simp. Fine. You're the fucking weirdo at home trying to make this into something it's not, trying to pin an entire country's pressure on her shoulders, blame her for everything, and then fabricate a feud between her and her teammates. Assholes. Fucking assholes. A girl who gave everything and already put our country on the map and already, had she just retired when she should have, like a normal girl at the age of 20, no one would be saying you bailed on this team. It's like she's already here one trip too many, 4 years too many. And she's doing it all in the name of like fighting a sexual predator. And people have the gall to say anything negative about her. Fuck you, man. Like, we can talk about the nitpicking about the competition and the sports and all that shit. But that statement right there is what it boils down to. This is a girl who openly said, I'm here because I want to make sure that a sexual predator gets punished as harshly as possible. And people are like denouncing her for what she did in the process of trying to accomplish that. Fuck you, you goddamn assholes. You goddamn creeps. And speaking of creeps, Ray Kump's on the show. Ray Kump, if you're a Tim Dillon fan, you know him. He's a stand-up comic. He's got his own podcast. And he is one wild dude. Worked in a morgue, worked as a wedding photographer, now doing the podcasting and comedy thing. A conspiracy theorist of sorts, critical thinker who's always skeptical of the powers that be and what happens in the dark shadows. And I'll be honest, after doing this interview and having some of these recordings on my computer and hearing the man listening to what I was talking about, I think I need to vanish, man. I think I need IP vanish. I want to just make my computer disappear. I don't want people to know that I was even on the internet with this guy. If you listen to our podcast right now, if you listen to this interview, you need to vanish as well. IP vanish is a company, is a product that will allow you to basically trick your computer and the internet into thinking your IP address is somewhere else. It's a virtual private network that helps you browse the internet in a safe way, in a anonymous way. It can help you if you want to browse like Netflix in Brazil or Netflix over in Europe, because there's different television shows. You can trick your computer into thinking that using this VPN that says, okay, yeah, you're over there. If you want to make sure that all your data is encrypted and safe, what you're reading, what you're searching, what you're talking about. I don't know, maybe, Ray comes talking about dead babies in the morgue and you don't want that out there. Just hypothetically, everything is protected. All of your online activity. It's the easiest way to protect yourself. It's the IP Vanish VPN. Right now, you can go to ipvanish.com/Clancy. Save 65% off your monthly and annual subscription. 65. That's diesel. ipvanish.com/Clancy. All lowercase. Save 65% and make your computer like Kevin McAllister. I made my computer disappear. And watch all the weird porn you want and all the weird countries you want. Search all the weird shit you want. Send all the pictures and data that you shouldn't be, and make sure that it's all safe and sound with ipvanish.com/Clancy. It's Ray Kump on the Kevin Clancy Show. Let's talk to him. It's the great and powerful Ray Kump on the show. First of all, I see that Mets hat. I didn't know you were a Mets fan, man.
Yeah, I'm newly got back into it.
Born again.
I went to the game on Saturday.
Why was it change in ownership that got you back in?
No, every 5 years I get back into baseball for a year and then I hibernate.
Wait, you're a fucking cicada?
Yeah, exactly. I can't. I mean, I can't do this. It's too many games. I can't do that every year.
It's brutal. I swear to God, it's a mental illness. I mean, I sort of do it for work now, so that's kind of my excuse. But
Sure.
there was a time, and if I wasn't working in the field I would still watch 150 of these games like a dumb asshole.
No, I hear it. I was busy with the NBA before, so I'm gonna enjoy this until I guess October. Hopefully October.
Hopefully, and then you just are okay disappearing. Like you don't.
Yeah, I went to like 5 games back in like 2016, and I haven't thought about them since.
What
happened to Cespedes? Is Cespedes gone? What happened there?
Oh yeah, Cespedes is dead, man. He fell off a cliff. He died.
Jeez.
You know what I heard? Actually, one of my favorite conspiracy theories. I'm sure we'll talk about a couple of those tonight. But one of my favorite conspiracy theories is that, remember, you might have been during one of your off years here, but when he broke his ankle a couple of years ago.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, the story was that he was on a ranch and a wild boar was chasing him. And
he owns a ranch.
And he fell in a hole.
That guy, I've seen video of that guy like on a ranch, like
sure. No. I mean,
plow.
He's on the horse.
He
tills the land. He works the land for sure.
Yeah.
But what I heard is, he's one of these guys. He defected from Cuba. And when you do that, those guys own you. And
you think they busted his ankle? You think they?
The initial deal is usually, we'll get you to America. You get your contract. You give us XYZ% of that contract, and then the real money comes in with your second and third contracts.
Yeah.
And apparently they came back like, the deal is still going. He said no, and they hunted him down, and apparently that's how the theory goes, that it was the cartel breaking his ankles.
I mean,
if the shoe fits, right?
Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle.
Yeah, on both ends. You know what I mean? Trying to deny it, trying to stop the cartel. I don't think they're gonna just be like, you're right. Never mind.
He's not Joe DiMaggio. I mean, no one's gonna protect Cespedes.
No shot, man. But yeah, I got my eye on the game right now. They're playing a doubleheader, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Steve Cohen you picked a good time to come back in now that there's a billionaire with his new little shiny toy to play with.
Sure.
So
you gonna fly some, was he on Epstein's plane?
no, I think I don't think he was on the plane. So dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of my first thoughts. I was like, I knew he had some SEC violations, and Billions is supposedly allegedly after him. But
he's that guy. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, but as I've heard, it's really not like he's not like Bobby Axelrod. He's not like the character.
Sure.
Or
that'd be an interesting question though. Like how many Mets fans would be okay if he was on the plane?
Oh, brother, I will look the other way. You bring me a title, I'd be like, no, he was just he hopped a flight because he needed to get down to another island. It was totally coincidence, man.
He was just doing child labor. It's fine.
So all right, Ray Kump, I've gotten to know you through the rise of your buddy Tim. And you guys, when you're on the mic together, are absolute magic. You're a New York guy, right? Through and through.
I mean, I don't love it, but I'm here.
Yeah. So I'm with you. Are you born and raised?
Yeah, I was raised in Long Island.
Right.
I live in Brooklyn now. It's fine. The pizza's all right.
I hate it. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's I always tell people, if I didn't have this goddamn family, I wish I was a fucking orphan. And then I could go wherever I want. And the first thing I would do would be get the hell out of here, dude.
I just want to live in some ramshackle, like a trailer park somewhere. I mean, honestly, like what's the difference? You live in an apartment or that? At least you have you have nice sunsets in the desert.
Yeah. You're not attacked by overgrown rats and fun. I mean, did you see those people a couple weeks ago wading through the subway floods to get to their trains?
No.
Oh my God. When we had that, like flash flood probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the videos, man, the subways were flooded more than I've ever seen, like chest high.
And you were wading through it.
There were people going in
the bridge. What are you doing?
Like if you get on the subway and there's a flash flood and you get out and you're like, I got to get through this water to get out. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
People going in, though, being like, I got to catch the train to go uptown. I don't care what the fuck you got to do. Going through a subway flood is...
No, it's literally, it's a toilet. But like also like you could walk one stop and it's probably not flooded.
I would do anything. I said, I understand people are, less fortunate. Maybe they can't afford an Uber or a taxi. And if you're late to your job, it's the end of the world. I don't care what the fucking circumstances are. You're not... Forget it. I mean, there's rats, there's shit, there's piss, there's live wires, there's, I mean,
yeah, but I don't know if I want the guy making my sandwich at Subway to be wading through shit water. I take the day off.
Yeah, for real. Or get fired. Find another job the next day, man. Nothing is worth that. But yeah, the city, it's I would get, everybody in the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, and I'm like, get me the fuck out, man.
Is that Faulkner? Who is that?
Alicia Keys and Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
Close though, Faulkner, yeah. But at the same time, what are your thoughts on everybody, like the mass exoduses that happened during COVID? Tim being one of them.
Tim was going to leave anyway. I mean, he's not going to stay in some. But I mean, most of these people are like, they were either rich kids or like kids from Ohio or both. Who like at least when I knew people from comedy and stuff, these people were they're all there to get drunk and party. Who cares?
Yeah.
The people who left are like, I mean, look, I'm not gonna give some guy crap because there's one of his kid getting stabbed in the face, but that's not really happening that often.
No, that was
gamble with my kids.
Man. There was just that period of panic where the world was never gonna be the same. And everything was going to hell. And then it was like, well, first of all, everything was already kind of going to hell as far as how clean it was and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then secondly, we've kind of seen it took a millisecond for the world to mostly go back to the right to where it was. I mean,
it's a total rat move. It's a rat move. I don't care. It sucks. But like, where are you going to go? You're going to go and live in like, Skokie, Illinois. You're going to live in under the Denver airport. Like, unless you're rich, then like, I'll give you a pass if you're rich. But I mean, what are you going to do? Live in some other suburb and you can go to Ruby Tuesdays?
Well, I wouldn't even mind, if you just switch gears and did the suburbs, whatever. But the thought that the Austins of the world and people heading down to Miami as if it was going to be
Austin's it's like Day of the Dead. It's like a zombie movie down there.
Yeah, the idea that it was going to be the next, center of the world is like, nah. I mean, it's going to take a lot more than that to stop the regular, New York, LA type of Chicago circuit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Do you think you could live anywhere else? I feel like the other side of it is I want to get out, but also when I go elsewhere, it's like, it's just too slow. These people are too laid back. As much as I hate it, I've become the asshole New Yorker.
I know. I want to live in the woods, carry knives and guns around everywhere I go. I mean, that's great to me. You have Amazon. If I wanted to get some, some Dragon Ball Z comics, they can deliver it to me now. It's not like the 70s. So it's like, whatever.
That is true. You kind of do live, but you think you could like live the wilderness life?
Oh yeah. I'm an Eagle Scout.
No, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't this fat back then, but I was. I still remember how to tie knots.
Oh yeah, that's basically, to me, that's what Eagle Scout means, is you can fucking tie a knot.
Yeah, and defraud the Eagle board into thinking you did some project.
What are they? Yeah, I mean, what else do they teach you in Eagle Scoutdom?
I mean, look, they teach you CPR, but I guarantee you I'll crack someone's ribs if I try to do it.
1000%. They'd be like, dude, I was just kind of like choking a little bit, and now I have 6 broken ribs and you punctured my lungs. Thanks a lot, asshole.
I would just, I mean, if I saw you choking, I was just reaching to your mouth and just try to pull whatever's out of it. Yeah, exactly. That's the only move I'm going to do. I'm not fucking around with your rib. You can sue me. Fuck that.
What about though? Like could you like hunt for your own food?
I've never hunted, but I would. I mean, I have no problem shooting. I mean, I don't get these people who eat like, I go through a ton of meat every week. I'm not going to shoot it. I mean, yeah, you got to learn, but like, am I going to start crying because
no, I don't give a shit. I don't really care about the morality of it. I mean, I guess I would have a little bit of trouble blowing Bambi's head off. I wouldn't.
I'll put it right in his mouth. I don't care. I am morally consistent.
But okay, that aside, you're now gonna fucking, I don't know, skin these things or whatever it is you do, chop it up, carve it up. You're gonna be
I work at the morgue. I don't care.
Huh?
I worked at the morgue. What do you think? I help cut humans up. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
The morgue, man. You had that quote a couple weeks ago on Tim's show. The way you talk about the morgue, man. I mean, it was just your job, so it's the way that I talk about, my old desk job, being an accountant or writing up blogs. How long was that? Where was that? Was that New York? I mean, everything.
It was New York, yeah, Long Island. It was. I think I was there for like 3 years total.
Jeez, how the fuck do you end up working at a morgue?
Well, I was doing like wedding photography and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that, sweet 16s, and that dried up because of the financial crisis.
Right.
People aren't throwing their these $1 million. They aren't flying Tony Yayo into perform anymore.
Was that one? Wait. Before we get to the morgue, then let's talk that. Were you really you were shooting Tony Yayo at a bar mitzvah?
One time at Sweet 16, I didn't know who he was. I mean, people tell me he was G. I mean, if he's 50 Cent's friend or something.
Yeah, G Unit. He was the so it was 50 was huge, and then there was Lloyd Banks, who could really rap, and Young Buck was another guy. Tony Yayo was their buddy who was in jail when they blew up. So
okay.
Everyone was like, "Oh, Tony's coming home. Tony Yayo's almost back," and it turned out he fucking sucks as a rapper.
Well, I know, sweet guy.
Yeah, wasn't that?
The Sweet 16 girl loved him.
Sweet 16 for where was that at?
It was a place called Four in Huntington.
Oh man, well,
it was like some trippy it was like a nightclub during the night, but then during the day they'd have like bar mitzvahs and Sweet 16s and.
Remember that show on MTV, My Super Sweet 16?
Yeah, I was never part of that crew, but
But have you ever done some lavish shit like that?
Yeah, I mean, nothing is like that. That was probably the biggest Sweet 16. I mean, I've done weddings that were in castles. But they still that's a weird thing. They spend like 80 grand putting themselves in a castle, and they hired my fat ass to go sweating around the party. I don't get it.
Are you nice with the photography? You know what you're doing, or were you just?
I know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm good with the camera. I don't do it anymore, really, but
I've always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that's one of the most easily snake it till you make it gigs ever now. Now with the equipment, right? I mean,
and even then when I was doing it, I would work at the camera store and I just see people like they just bought one of these digital cameras and it's like, hey, I just got this camera. I'm shooting a wedding today. Like, you're shooting it today. Your first what? Like, how do I use this? It's like, I mean, and it's kind of the most frivolous thing in the world. So who cares? Like, like I took it very seriously. I used to get stressed out, like I might ruin someone's wedding pictures, and like, which seems absurd now. Who cares? Like, it's like, those people are probably dead from being skewered to the Capitol riots. But I
got the fucking plague going through the subway floods. I don't think I give a shit about my. I mean, wedding pictures. Especially now, maybe you put them on your, in your folder on your phone. But prior to that, it's in some book, and you throw it on the fucking shelf. You never look at it again. Who gives a shit?
You show your grandkids and you tell them how you got HPV back in the 70s. Who cares?
Like, here was my first wife. Here's my second wife. I don't give a fuck. That to me is the amount of money I spent on that, and like the videographer, and like, how come you can't do fucking both? Why is it all got to be separate? The whole thing is the biggest racket in the goddamn world. And then I just get such a kick out of you. The thought of you running around trying to get the right angle. I mean, some of these guys.
I moved like a goddamn gazelle. I was like, I wasn't this fat. I was pretty fat. I would just be like weaving through like crowds and like. I knocked an old lady over once, like, cause she was like trying to like eat my picture at the bar mitzvah, and I just backed into her, not on purpose, but like, don't get behind.
Hey, this man's at work, get out of the way. Michelangelo's painting the ceiling of the chapel here. Move away.
I used to go to my boss and be like, look, I feel bad because I'm just sweating everywhere. And the thing about like people who have money is like they like to see you sweat. That's what he told me. Like, they don't care. Like, you're disgusting. You smell. I didn't smell, but I look like I smelled. And but they like seeing some fat brute just be a workhorse for them. It brings back memories of servitude.
I was gonna say their ancestors probably love that one. I mean, that's like in baseball, man. The Mets used to have Carlos Beltran. He was too good. He was like, like they said, he was like a gazelle out there. Like you just said, he could run easily, swing easily. So everyone was like, he's not even fucking trying. It's like, no, he's just better than your fat, lazy ass. He's better, he's better than we are, you dick. But yeah, if you just put a little sweat out there and a little grunt, they're like, oh, he's working hard. I'm just fucking pressing a button. So that dries up because of the recession. Nobody's throwing the parties anymore. And then you go, all right, I'll go to the fucking morgue.
Well, it wasn't that. I mean, I took a test, and in the interim, I ended up working in a potato bread warehouse.
A potato bread warehouse.
Working the graveyard shift.
Wait. You take a test for what?
For the morgue thing. But the morgue thing, it's like a county job. So you have to wait like a couple years to get the job. Like, it's kind of like you're on a list.
Is a morgue job like highly coveted?
I mean, every county job is kind of like, or state job, like, is, usually because, they have good benefits and like the pay was decent for that. But yeah, it was kind of you would think like, who wants to hang out with a bunch of debt? But, there was like at least, I scored well on the test, but there was like a couple guys ahead of me, and they, a couple of them washed out. So I got the gig.
What's the test like? What are they asking you?
It was weird. It was just basic for like, hey, like, what kind of white balance setting would you use? Like, what kind of filter would you use on a sunset kind of crap? And it's like, it should have been like, hey, like, how do you fingerprint a decomposed corpse? And like, answer, you rip its skin off and you put it on your hand. But, they don't ask you that. That's the kind of stuff that like anyone could just do. The photography there is very simple. But, it was just the, you X-raying, like, just maggots are swimming everywhere. Like, that's the kind of problem solving. You have a number tag that you have to put on the corpse, but when you put it down in the body, the maggots keep swimming around like it's a cartoon. How do you fix that? They don't ask you that in the test, though.
What the fuck, dude? What?
I mean, stuff happens.
I mean, I get that, but they're just like, they're talking about the filters and the angles and that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's all they asked you.
Do you think that's like, if you sat down to take a test and they asked you, how do you properly shoot the organs when the maggots are in the way, you think it would just scare everybody off?
No, I think it's just that no one even. You're thinking too hard. They hadn't changed that test since the 70s, probably. Yeah, and
right.
I don't care. Like, there's no shortage of people who want to fucking just fist. I mean, I wasn't fisting them, but there's people out there who want to hang out and just there's people who got the job just because they like Metallica and they like the shirt. And then and this is whatever. And he starts crying to me because he saw a dead baby. And like, oh, it reminds me of my kids. I'm like, what? I don't care. Like, yeah, there's dead babies. This is what we do. Maybe this is not the gig for you because you like Megadeth.
Wait. Explain this to the Metallica Mega.
He's like some guy, metal guy. I mean, he's a nice guy, but he's just like he doesn't have a medical background. He just he wanted to get the job at the morgue for because he was. I mean, he didn't say it's because he literally but you could tell.
Yeah. So he was just part. That was what he thought was part of this persona kind of, and then it's like, oh no, you don't have the stones for it.
No, well, he did for years. He was fine. I mean, but he did have a thing about dead kids, which I did. I mean, I was always, look, we're here. Let's not, it's sad. Well, I can't bring the kid back to life.
Whether I'm taking a picture of it or someone else is, the kid's fucking dead.
If I was a wizard, I'd bring it back to life. But, what am I going to
do? So how long did you do that for?
Like 3 years.
3 years. And that's, 8-hour shifts.
Yeah, like 8-hour shifts. You usually get at least a couple old people every day. That's your baseline. There's a couple of old people who just didn't have medical records, and they just cut them open. And it's a basic thing. They do it pretty quickly. They cut up the chest, rip everything out. They cut up the organs into a souffle, basically. Not souffle. They cut them up they slice them up like peppers and onions. Okay. They throw it back in the garbage bag, and it goes back in your body, and that's. But then you got the suicides and the murders and the decomposed things. Those get more involved.
What's the most gruesome thing you saw?
Let's think. I mean, the train stuff was crazy. The guys who drove in front of trains, and you're taking you got a bag, and you get the better body bags from the MTA. They're really heavy duty ones.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and it's just like Mr. Potato Head. You're pulling a leg out, you're pulling the head out. And
you got
the decomposed stuff is pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
The decomposed stuff, the decomposed corpse, the body blows up 2-3 times the size. The balls get this big.
The balls do?
Yeah, the scrotum. It's fills up with gas. And then sometimes the doctor would, pierce it and it would all just come like a fountain.
That's got to sound just appalling.
Yeah, look, I mean, it smells bad. It's not fun. I mean, but it's
normal, but balls huge.
Yeah, oftentimes it would be like a small dick on top of a massive scrotum. But where else are you gonna see that? That's the way you gotta be.
You're so lucky. You got to see what nobody else saw, Ray. One of the perks of the gig.
Exactly.
Fucking Christ.
I got a story to tell on the first date.
Yeah, good icebreaker material. What does a gig like that pay?
They they stagger it out with these steps, but basically you get $70,000 a year.
Well,
and, I think you get good benefits, and you get a pension if you stay, which I didn't, but
I mean that's pretty good for you think of some of the opportunities out there for that's a lot more than.
Oh yeah, even if you hated it, which I kind of enjoyed it, but even if you hated it,
what the fuck is wrong with you, Ray Kump? Why do you like it?
Well, I mean, where else are you gonna see a guy with a shotgun blow his head off, and you're in his skull, putting it back together like a bag of broken glass? I mean, where else are you gonna do that in a video game?
Yes, in your fucking worst nightmares, where it should stay.
It's fine. Look, I'm a dynamic, well-rounded person, and I have a
sure.
I have a lot of I'm a raconteur.
What? What? I mean, you're telling me you go to work and some fucking baby shows up that's been beaten to death, and you're just saying, well, okay, no one gets to see this except for me, not a big deal.
I'm not happy. I'm I hate the moment. I go, this is sad, but I'm a grown man. Do you want? I'm going to do the job anyway. How about I do it and not cry? Is that okay? Is it okay if I don't cry every time the baby comes in? Does that make me a monster?
Did you was in the beginning? Were there tears, or right off the bat you just said this is a job and who cares?
Look, I don't know what happened to it. I am not one of these. I'm all for people facing their emotions and being sensitive. But where's this idea that I have to cry? It's not Forrest Gump, all right? It's not I have no connect. This is What do you think happens in the world? That's a problem with people. People go through their life thinking kids don't die. I was always thinking about dead kids. I was, the Iraq War and everything. Like I'm always thinking, that kid probably got, kids are getting their heads
up by a drone. Yeah, right.
So it's like, it's not a big surprise to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't assume it. Every time when a baby died, some fucking cherub came and pulled it to heaven.
Yeah, flies it up with their wings. Right. Were you there alone, or would you have like
no, there's doctors, there's like medical techs.
You don't do any of the. You just take the pictures, or were you obviously you're not chopping them open, right?
Well, I was. They let me chop, use the bolt cutters to open the rib cage a couple of times. I milked a colon once.
What does that mean? Milk the colon, Ray Kump?
I don't know if that's a technical term, but that's what I called it. It's just like because you have to send everything.
Because you got there's shit in it. You got to get the shit out.
Well, not just to get it. I mean, you're not trying to clean the colon per se. The idea is that you have to send the contents to toxicology. Right. So like you have the large intestine, and you kind of just like almost like a cake thing.
Yeah, cake batter, icing.
Yeah, and you're just kind of milking it out into like a. It looked like a deli cup. The thing you get like a pound of chicken salad in.
Yep.
You put it in that.
Yeah, chicken salad or colon contents. Same.
Exactly. Yeah. But mostly I was, taking pictures, x-raying, fingerprinting. That was the gig.
You ever, it was that like, was it for medical purposes or was it for like investigation purposes? You ever like crack a case or some shit where the fingerprints mattered in a way?
The fingerprints themselves? No, like the funny thing is that my fingerprints were never used, like by definition. Because like if it was a case where like it was a homicide, or like even if it had to be identified, the cops had their own fingerprint unit and it did much more like advanced fingerprints. So we just had like, volumes of fingerprints that like really had no purpose. It was just doing it for the
just to have.
I don't know. Someone thought it was a good idea, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case we found Jimmy Hoffa or something.
Right. I grew up on City Island in the Bronx, and right across was Potter's Field, where they put all the John Does. So it's just like filled up with the dead bodies that nobody came to claim. So that you do all that shit and then ship them to a place like that.
Well, usually a funeral home will pick them up.
Funeral home, right?
And for the John Doe, those Powder Field, they'll just come like instead of coming with like a gurney, they'll just come with like a wooden box and just dump it right into a box.
COVID must have been a fucking disaster for morgues, no?
Oh, I mean, it must have been. I mean, I was there for Sandy, and a similar thing where basically because there's no power in a lot of places, a lot of funeral home. Because usually the funeral home would pick it up from us typically, and they all had like no power, so they were like they want to pick the bodies up. So we had to get these like refrigerated trucks, which I've read that they were doing that too during COVID.
Remember that,
But yeah, those things were bad. There was like and the fridges were full of like there were things in the fridge like old dog like trash cans full of dog heads and like giant turtle shells, like bizarre stuff
for Sandy.
Well, I'm saying like we had to clear that stuff out finally. I was like, can I throw this giant turtle shell out, please? Like it's been here for 10 years. I gotta shove someone in here. And they're like, fine, just do it.
A turtle shell, Jesus. Dude, was there a lot of deaths in Sandy?
I mean, there was a decent amount. Not like I don't think a tremendous amount, but it wasn't like overloaded with death. It was more just that like everyone's power went out.
Right.
So like they wanted us to hold the bodies. We had backup generators, but we only had so much space. So like the trash cans, the trash can full of dog heads, I think stayed there because there was evidence. Someone was like forcing their kids to cut off dogs' heads. I mean,
what the?
I don't know. I'm not part of the cops, so I'm not privy to the other part of the info. I get like half a puzzle every time and it never gets solved.
Man, that we need like a new crime novelist who writes beach fiction about Ray Kump, the morgue. You're a morgue, photographer, but you're a rogue vigilante investigator as well. And you go solve the other half of the puzzle. Tell me that's not a fucking series right now that people would read.
I think it's more interesting if it's just me, like, half drunk going, that's a bloody asshole, ain't it? And then just going to Applebee's.
Either way,
I would read that book.
What is there a lot of truth to the people there's people out there fucking the bodies?
I mean, I've never seen that, but I mean,
know of it.
Why wouldn't that be true?
Of like, when Wayne takes over.
No. There was. I'd be honest with you, but I never saw any indication of that. But I also have no reason to think that doesn't, wouldn't happen.
Somebody. I mean, There's a reason why that joke or stereotype exists, right? It's gotta.
Yeah, it's also like, look, the thing is like, when you work in it is a pretty big, medical examiner's office, but a lot of places in the country don't have that. They just have a coroner who's he's like a county official or something, and like he'll recruit a doctor, a regular doctor, to do an autopsy. So that's more likely where you get the guy fucking the body, because it's like there's not, you have cameras everywhere. It's like,
we got a series called Answer the Internet where people answer these ridiculous hypotheticals that we've amassed from our podcast and throughout, internet forums and debates. Question was, would you fuck a dead body?
No.
I think it was for a matter of minutes. In exchange, you get your laundry done for life for free.
Hey, laundry?
Yes, your laundry folded up for free forever.
I thought you were going to offer me $5 million. Wait, laundry? What are you talking about? Who asked this?
The internet, bro.
People in prisons? What are you talking about?
The internet, man. People hate doing laundry, pal.
I got a machine in my basement. It's fine.
All right. What would be your number then? 5 million? You fuck a dead body?
No, it was still going to be no. But like, look, if the person like beforehand, before they died, consented to this, then yeah, it's a different. But that's never happening. No, I'm not just going to defile someone's corpse.
Are you telling me that the reason you wouldn't fuck a dead body is because of consent, Ray Kump?
Yes.
That's the problem. Not the fact that
I took the job very seriously. What?
The problem isn't that you would be a weird necrophiliac that put his dick inside of a dead pussy or asshole.
Look, there's different experiences you can have in life, and I'm sure it's not great, but it's also like neither is eating fucking bad eggplant. I made that point before about something else, but like it's like, the point is though, I feel very strongly you shouldn't defile someone's corpse out of a sense of just, civic responsibility.
Oh, okay. Civic duty. I like it.
Yeah.
So if someone had consented, or let's take it a step further. Yeah. What if someone asked for it? Your friend, loved one, something, I don't know, says, I would actually prefer.
Well, my mother asked. No,
I wasn't going to.
I don't know if I do that for her.
Let's say, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, something says, actually, one of my last, in my last will and testament here, I give you this, I give you that. Also, if Ray Kump could just give my body a once over when I'm dead, I'd love it. Would you do it?
I mean, look, I don't want to do it. And it sounds like
it sounds like you do, because as long as there's consent, it sounds like you wanna.
Well, look, it has to be consent plus money.
Okay.
I mean, if we could set up some kind of weird game show where this guy gets to live for 10 years as a wealthy guy, and then like I fuck his corpse, and then I get money. I'm open to the idea, possibly. I mean, as long as, because that guy's getting something out of it, and he's, that seems like it's almost like if I don't do it, I'm screwing this guy over.
Yeah, like now you're not even letting, you're not respecting the dead and their final wishes.
Yeah, and we should start this show. I mean, can this be a show?
You fucking dead guys for money?
Not just me. I mean, I think you have to pair people up. I can't be. It's not gonna be my everything. It's not my whole life.
What if we have a dating show? Have you seen this new one on Netflix where everyone's dressed up as a fucking animal?
No, are they furries?
It's called Sexy Beasts. They go all out like furries. Some of them are like vampires or Frankenstein. Doesn't have to be animals, but I mean, we're talking like major special effects, and they date that way. Wait,
but not actually furry, because the furries like to go into like giant litter boxes and shit in them.
Yeah, this is probably JV furries. I'm sure the real furries are sitting at home being like, "What is this bullshit?" But okay, so they meet up as like there's a terminal. One side is a terminal victim, and we find the pair, and then almost like in Bar Rescue where they go back and they see if the bar has done any better. They meet up, they pair up. You're the winners. They wait till that guy dies and then they fuck him, and we get to see the whole thing unfold. You telling me that's not a hit show? I think it is, Ray Kump.
I think you got to give the guy a couple. It's got to be like a documentary, a feel-good thing, like a BBC documentary.
Okay.
Where, like, you get to follow this guy around as he gets money for the first time in his life. And he gets to go to the Eiffel Tower and drink baguettes or whatever. And then, and it's nice. And there's the first half. And the second half is, the title card. He's like, he passed away on this day.
Right,
and then the fucking starts.
Yeah, and then we get to the good shit. The fucking.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You went to you picked a guy. You don't want to fuck a girl who's dead. You want to fuck the guy who's dead.
I mean, look, I don't know what you're thinking as far as it's a rotting corpse. It's necrotic flesh, and you're talking about gender. What are you, a cop?
It's a fair point, but I'm just, if I were to, I would fuck a girl, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you.
What you you casually dropped the other day that you sucked one guy's dick?
Yeah, I tried that once.
And that what was that?
Didn't like it that much.
The intent was like, I just want to try it out the same way. I want to try duck one day. I want to eat frog legs.
I might like it. Yeah, like I thought you watch enough porn and like you start crossing your wires. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
you're jerking off to women and the dick's there, and then you start thinking maybe like the dick. I don't know. I was probably doing a lot of Adderall at the time. That doesn't help. But it's like you try it out because at a certain point, it's a bitch move to not do it. Like if you feel like you might want to do it, then do it.
Well, yeah, I agree. If you've got the urge, don't be a fucking pussy and suck that dick. But I love.
It turned out it was more of a visual thing for me, I think.
Yeah, all right. So you're thinking. By the way, I love that. Like some people like, what's the worst thing that happened when you took like too much Adderall? You're like, I was kind of tweaking out, or I crashed. You're like, I ended up with a dick in my mouth, just too much Addy.
Yeah,
they don't put that on you don't hear that on the commercial. It's not that's not saying side effects include you might suck a dick.
I mean, I was still taking it. It's great. You were taking Adderall. It's fantastic.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not an Adderall guy. I remember when everyone started taking it for school, and I was like, I'm not gonna do drugs for homework. I'm gonna do drugs. I want it to be for fun. I'm not doing drugs for work. Get out of here with that.
No, and I never got the hang of it for school because like you have to like start doing your work and then take it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, then you end up on a Google end up in a K-hole.
Yeah, like, you're in a deep dark like YouTube hole, right?
Start researching the Federal Reserve for 12 hours and then you fail your test.
So you get your wires crossed, like you said. You decide you want to suck some guy's dick. Is it you go on a date with someone, or was it like
you go on Craigslist? The guy, he asked me if I wanted to watch the football. I went to his house. He asked me if I wanted to watch the game. I'm like, nah, I'll just get to work.
Really? So like, let's skip the pleasantries. We know why we're here. Like,
yeah, I'm like, what are we gonna bond? Which is fine. Like I'm just saying, like I didn't like football. If he had the basketball game on, I might have watched it.
Let's put the Knicks on, and I'll blow you at the end of the third quarter. But
it's like look, there doesn't need to be an awkward date here. Like I've had enough of those in my life.
Was your Craigslist like I'm curious and I just want, or was it like I'm just looking to blow somebody?
No, I didn't post a thing. I just found some guy and responded. This is not that big a deal. This is 2021. You're acting like I freaking discovered blowjobs for the first time.
No, I find it interesting that I feel like if I was gonna suck a dick, I would be pretty sure that I was gonna like it. Like to me, here's how I view it. I always say I can't believe that there are people who propose and get a no. In my mind, if you're gonna pop the question to someone, you have to know it's a yes. It's a formality at this point.
Well, it wasn't like that. I wasn't that ambiguous about it. I was just like, it turned out, look, you try a raw oyster. I ended up liking that, but you didn't know. Like a raw oyster looks kind of gross.
Yeah, but
try it.
But the general.
Are you the kind of guy if we go out to eat, you're gonna be like, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. Trust me, it's what's a dry aged steak? Is that mold? Is mold on the steak? Shut up and eat it.
But no, that's more like. We're talking about like little differences in the idea of eating a meal, whereas you're talking about, it would be like if you jerk guys off and you fuck them and then you wanted to try blowing them as well. We're talking about little differences in food.
I don't see the big difference here. Look, if people want to make sex their whole identity, that's fine. It's not part of my identity. I might want to try that. Didn't like it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the way it should be, right? But I feel like people, there's
Do I feel less of a man? No, I feel less of a man because I let my mom not. I didn't go to a chess tournament when I was in high school because my mom was convinced that I was going to be die in a car crash, so she made me stay home. I'm more ashamed of that.
Your mom said no.
She was very religious. It's a long story, but I couldn't go, and I could have been a chess champion, but she didn't want me to go. Like she opened the Bible. She had a dream about me getting killed, and then she opened the Bible to a random page because that's how life works. You open the Bible to a random page.
Sure.
And it was something about people getting beaten with sticks. So she told me I can't drive you to the chess tournament. That's a much bigger regret. Who cares if I sucked a dick I didn't like? Whatever.
Totally with you on that one. That would eat at me for the rest of my fucking life, Ray.
Sure, I could have been champion, but then again, also, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Being a Ray, well, yes. One day, we're all fucking nobodies, and one day you die and you're in the dirt, and nobody cares if you won a game moving, little plastic pieces around a wooden board. Yes, agreed. But also, if we're gonna buy into this thing called life even a little bit, it would have been pretty fucking awesome to be a chess champion. There's a reason why you played it in the first place.
I'll just lie about it. Whatever. It's chess. No one knows.
Well, yeah, listen, I would recommend that for the rest of your life, you go around telling people you're a chess champion, but deep in that fucking heart of yours, you know that you're not.
Yeah, it's fine.
Doesn't bother you? Wait a minute. What the fuck, Ray? You brought this up as a huge regret, and now you're trying to.
No, I didn't say a huge regret. I have no regret about sucking a dick.
But you do. You clearly forget about the dick, right? We're not talking about the chest. You clearly have a regret.
I didn't bring it up like it was some massive,
you did. You said it's more of a big regret about the chest. There's no reason why you brought it up, Ray. I didn't ask you about chest.
I'm just trying to think of things I don't regret a lot of things.
But your chest is.
Yeah, all right. So you want to hash it out? You want to talk about how I'm inadequate now?
I want to talk about your chess life. I mean, you're the King's Gambit over here. This is I find it interesting. How old are you at this time?
When I did it or now?
No, when you're playing
15
chess.
Probably 15.
How much? Well,
15.
15. You are like the chess champion of Long Island?
No, I was like the leader. I was like the captain of my high school team, and there wasn't much competition.
So you could, all right. So you just would have been like local, like
the team. It turns out the tournament. There's a single tournament we went to, and like the team lost by like 5 points. So like I would have won the game, or at least one of the games. It was that kind of deal.
The day of, like everyone shows up, and there's just like a empty chair, and Ray Kump's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
I mean, man, listen, everyone loved the Queen's Gambit. If that final scene was just, she couldn't show up because her crazy mom said that she could get beaten to death with sticks. No disrespect to your mom.
No, that's fine.
I think that would be tough. That sucks, man.
I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
Well, but here, okay, I'm playing therapist here. It did come up for a reason. I'm
just trying to find. I'm a very centered human being. I don't have a ton of regrets, so it's like
the greatest way to live, man. No regrets. Regret will absolutely eat you alive if you let it in. And
you build me a time machine. I'll suck Paul Revere's dick. But until then,
imagine that. Imagine you fucking quantum leap this shit. You ever watch that show back in the day? Imagine if you quantum leap into the colonial times. You blow Paul Revere. He misses the message. He doesn't put the lights up. Bam.
All drinking tea. Effect.
We're all fucking tea. Yep, we're all drinking tea. Sucking British dick instead.
Yeah. That's the show.
If you could, if quantum leap with Ray Kump, quantum leap,
quantum suck,
quantum leap. Let's go. What would be if you could quantum leap into any historical situation, change it, affect it, reverse it, whatever? What do you think you would do? Or just to observe, to watch, to learn, to crack the case, whatever.
Any historical situation, I would. I'd go and find Lee Harvey Oswald on the day he shot Kennedy.
Funny you went to JFK. I mean, that was an episode as well, but I feel like a lot of people go to JFK. So you would be someone who stops Lee Harvey Oswald?
No, I was just gonna give him a high five and be like, no, I'm kidding. I like Kennedy, but I don't want people to think I'm something like Warhawk. But
but maybe what if you were Kennedy and you just give it like a little duck?
I love this idea though. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, what would you do for your time machine? You go back to the Kennedy assassination? I don't know. Be fat. Like, how am I going to stop this? What are you talking about?
Well, another one of the questions we do is like, if we sent you back in time with all the knowledge you have now, like what could you accomplish? And it's like, I don't know, just because I know. All right, let's say this. We go back in time. I know that the world is round and everyone else thinks it's flat. So, okay, now what? Now I got to try to like convince people of that. Like they're just going to be like, shut up, asshole. And then the whole story's over. Just because you know some shit doesn't mean you could pull it off.
No, 5 years. Like if you go back 5 years, you can do sports betting. That's about all you can do.
I mean, that's give me the sports almanac from.
What are you gonna do? You gonna invent a computer? You know how hard that is.
That's what I mean. It's like just because I know it doesn't mean I can do. I couldn't. Ray, I can't do anything.
You couldn't start a fire, probably.
Hell no. I'm not an Eagle Scout. I can't tie knots. I mean, I can do nothing. The only thing I can do is fill dead air by talking. That is my only discernible skill. And, so send me back in time. I'll filibuster. That's it. Otherwise, I got nothing for you. What's your skill in this world? If you were in a beauty pageant, what would you do for your talent portion of the show?
Besides fucking dead bodies? I used to whittle, but not very well.
Whittle?
I don't know. You're looking at it. I have a podcast.
This is it, right? Just talking, right?
Whittle, I play the synthesizer sometimes.
That's like woodworking, whittling?
Yeah, I made a letter opener once. It's like when you do this.
Okay.
With a knife. You got a knife and you.
Did you, do you remember like shop class? Did you have that in school?
No, I didn't have shop class.
We had like 1 year. I think I must have been like the last school, and I was like the last grade to ever have it. I made like a fucking paper holder magnet for your fridge or whatever like that. I feel like they should do more shit like that, though. I don't think that's the worst idea to have some classes like that.
No, they should teach kids, like, I don't know why they're sending kids to business school. Teach people to do HVAC and freaking
right.
And like,
right. Like everything
that's
should be
where
a
like the
more
real money.
Trade school. Yeah, like a little.
Yeah, people act like trade school is some problem. It's like no one's getting jobs with college degrees. Most of the degrees are bullshit. And it's like, are you really more proud to be like teaching a bunch of shitty high schoolers stuff they're gonna forget in the year than like welding someone's building together? Right. How is that a less important job?
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Like if 1 year of high school should be like you do trades. Like, for your junior year, you learn plumbing, you learn HVAC, you learn construction, you learn whatever. All that shit to be a much more well-rounded. What's one class or multiple classes, whatever you want to do it, that you think should be taught in, let's say, high school curriculum?
Knife wielding, modeling.
Bottling?
I think everyone should be able, everyone should be taught. I would have loved if someone taught me how to pose as a young man. So when I get a picture, I don't look like Oscar the Grouch, just shoved into a friggin' 2D. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to stand when people take pictures of me.
So you want a class on how to stand up?
Well, no, how to pose properly for a picture.
I mean, I'm kind of with you on it. Like,
I did this I know how to pose people, but that's why I know now. You lean forward, you put your hand on whatever. I don't know.
One of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. How about, real quick side note before we get back to the posing and the classes, what about, did you ever shoot like a newborn, like a real newborn baby when they almost
those creepy ones with like the hand, the arm thing?
They look like they're dead. It looks like one of those post-mortem shots from like the 1800s.
No, it's disgusting. Yeah, I mean, like it's.
They can't hold their head up. Their eyes are closed. They're like,
that's gotta be so awkward. The baby ends up dying in a month or two.
Also,
and you have these pictures.
At that point, every baby looks like every other baby. You could take pictures of a baby and slide them another one. They wouldn't even fucking know the difference.
Yeah.
And then when they're dead and rape comes, got their giant.
You probably I think what you're getting at is you could steal their baby.
Oh. Baby
that's
swap.
That's the more profitable angle there. And
another show.
You get some dud baby and you swap them. And
you get a lemon and you get swap it out for a MIT student one day. Would you if you could genetically alter your kid, would you do so?
What, do I have like wings, or like?
No, not to that extent. But like if I could be like, you tweak this and they're gonna have blue eyes. You tweak this, they're gonna be tall. You little things like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, blue. I don't know why you're doing it for blue eye, because no matter what you do, there's going to be. It might be 99% effective, but like it's going to come out with no asshole sometimes when you do this, probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, so like, would you risk it? Because who knows? Maybe you fuck
So
it
it's
up.
not a moral question; it's a risk question.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I don't think the morality of it is like, if you could tell me my kid's gonna be like more intelligent than not, I'd probably be like, okay, I don't give a shit that it's like an unfair advantage. But
Sure.
if I tweak the intelligence gene and they come out with a tail, then I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck, I should have just let him be a normal kid.
Yeah, I mean, I would just let him. I don't want my kid doing better than me. I don't know where his idea came from.
Interesting. The idea that you should.
I don't want to be jealous of my kid.
Yeah, I kind of do feel like there's a lot of resentment if your kid outshines you.
Yeah, the whole lie. I mean, you have kids. I don't have kids, but you have them. Do you really want them to like? Honestly, if they went to MIT, wouldn't you kind of feel like fuck you?
My kids are so young that I don't know if I can tell you, but no, I think I do. I think I would genuinely want them to do better. At that point, I'd be older, and like I think you're a real fucking.
I want to outlive my kids, but naturally, I'm not gonna kill them.
Put every parent's dream to put their kid in a box.
I'll give them a real nice eulogy. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna give. Everyone's gonna be crying at the funeral. I'm gonna have people bawling in tears. It's gonna be a beautiful eulogy. I mean, I'm not gonna trust my kid to give me a eulogy. So you want to just crush this funeral and put on a show for the people. I want to make it very clear. This is not a Munchausen by proxy thing, but yes, that's what I want.
Okay, I respect that. A man who knows what he wants. He's testing it out, sucking the dick.
If God sees fit, then let it be.
It's the master plan. It's not up to you. But if it so happens, then I will also deliver a eulogy that's got the people in the back crying and weeping their eyes.
I am going to be the toast of the town with my dead kid.
I mean, it's up there with Kennedy and Obama and the great orators of the world. You just giving your kids eulogy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to embarrass other,
eulogizers.
What do you call a mother who just was widows? But what do you call someone who's lost their son? Bereaved. I'm gonna shame bereaved mothers.
Put on a fucking clinic out here for moms who are crying about their. You know what? They're always they're blubbering. They're a mess. Right. They can't even get a word out, and you're just gonna be like nailing this speech start to finish.
I'm gonna start writing his eulogy the day he's born, or she. Yeah, or they them. It's fine. No matter what, I just want to outlive them.
We certainly don't want to assign pronouns here. Let them decide. And then when they're dead, well, what about that? What if when they're dead, you respect their wishes? You're very big on respecting the wishes of the dead, right? So, it'll be they, them, however they want it.
I'm not dead naming my dead son. That'd be insane.
That's disrespectful.
I mean,
that would be flat out rude, wouldn't it?
I mean, wouldn't do it live. I mean, I don't see any conflict here. What I feel like I'm being consistent.
What? Okay, back to the school. I feel like there should be a whole class on taxes, understanding them, how to pay them, not even how to do them, just understanding. Fucking dependence and not dependence and the 0 and the 1. And, if you pay too much, you pay too little. Why don't they fucking teach that? There should be a class on marriage where they say, listen, probably half of you, if not more, you're going to think you're in love with this person. You're going to fuck your shit up and your life's fucked up because now you married someone you don't like. Here's what might happen. Why is there not a class on that? It's one of the biggest problems in the world. We just don't even talk about it. Yeah,
I guess there should be a class like, look, your wife's call it your wife's a horror class.
Your wife's a whore 101.
Right. I hear you. I mean, yeah, I agree that this should be they should teach you how to not to save money.
Yeah. How to buy a house. Little things like you think you have enough money, also factor in another, $20,000 for closing costs, whatever the fuck those are.
I mean, you're operating under the premises they want people to do well. They don't. They want people to be in a jam, to be behind the 8 ball, to be that's what gets the machine going.
Who's the they in this one? Like the government?
I'm saying there is no look. I'm not trying to act like these lizard people controlling the world here, right. But there's no concerted interest for the wealthy elites of his country, with the dwindling prospects of our industries and whatnot, to empower workers or empower, the
Nobody
average
wants
Joe.
the proletariat rising up here.
Yeah, there's no profit in that.
Yeah, no, the world, others doing well, no thanks. People are not interested in that.
Exactly.
And I don't even think that's, some conspiracy per se. I think that's just common sense.
That's just life.
Yeah, like so many things fall under the idea of conspiracy theory. It's like, yeah, if you want to talk about putting microchips inside people, that's a conspiracy theory that's silly. But if you want to talk about the idea that rich people want to stay rich and powerful people want to stay powerful, and they'll do whatever they can by any means to keep other people from threatening that, I don't think that's a conspiracy. That's just called common sense.
What you call conspiracy theory is just like the history of the CIA. It's just like, go look at when we overthrew Mossadegh in Iran. Like, is that conspiracy?
Right. Well,
it was until like 15 years ago.
True. Yeah. I mean, there's I don't know if it's a common thing, if it's passed around a lot, but I saw there's a pyramid of like conspiracies with different tiers of believability. And the top one being, reptilian overlords. And the bottom one is MK Ultra, something like that. Like, it's believable. That was at one point at the fucking tip top until it was just proven true. It's not that it was more or less believable. It's that it was unbelievable until we proved it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have to be convinced that the government engaged in like raping children, like this. That's almost proven. Like MK Ultra is 100% proven.
Right.
It's also like pretty much proven that they were like abusing children to try to like get them to become Manchurian candidates or see if they could.
To do what?
Like try like just they were like the basic idea is that they were experimenting on these kids to try and like induce personality platters, they call it, by inducing trauma. You know how like kids who are abused, they develop like alternate personalities to protect their brain.
Yeah.
So they tried to weaponize that.
Oh,
and
wow.
And there was like experimenting. And look, is the level of like, can I say that the fact that they were fucking kids to try to like is that proven? No, I don't think that's totally proven. But there's enough stuff around that's like, I don't think they drew the line there.
Shit, that is dark, man.
And then you start going, is that really the reason you were doing it? Or is it just a bunch of pedophiles?
Yeah. And then how would you weaponize and like disseminate that in a way? Is that the idea?
I think the idea would be you would traumatize a child. I mean, look, maybe they would come out here and say, hey, this fat tard is, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We didn't fuck him. We just poked him with knives. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
was wrong on that one. Yeah.
But I think the idea would be that you use trauma and then you kind of create these and then you implant these like protocols or like, directive, kind of like, almost like hypnosis, like more like kind of, where you get people into a susceptible state of mind.
Yeah.
And then you have to trigger them. Like, I don't think it worked out. I don't think that this is the born identity and they have a bunch of, raped kids running around killing, presidents.
Right.
But that was the idea, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, that's like they didn't draw the line at MK Ultra. There's probably things that went further and went wrong, and then they found the sweet spot in some of these other testings. What do you believe is the most widely accepted thing in the world right now that will eventually be proven false? Like the world is flat, like something that the whole world believes, like, you fucking dummy. You think the world is round, and then eventually the entire planet's like, yeah.
Interesting.
Because you feel like right now we are so much more advanced that there can't be something that obvious that we've gotten wrong. But they, all the scientists of that day thought that as well. Do you think that we've reached a level of intelligence where there's not something we could get that wrong?
No, I just don't think anyone. Maybe like the Applebee's is actually food. I mean, that's one. But the problem with
Fuck
that
Applebee's, by the way, I'm banned for life from an Applebee's in Maine.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They
don't be dick out.
I wish that I would have earned it at least. I was. We stayed there all day. We were tobogganing in Maine.
Yeah.
And we ordered literally everything all the appetizers off the menu. We were there for like 8 hours, and they cut us off. Because no matter, even if you're not sloppy drunk, they just have a rule and they have a camera watching you above. So we ordered like, I don't know, probably 6 beers over, 6 hours, but that's it. You get cut off. So we left change.
These people can't even like properly microwave chicken fingers, but they have like security experts from the MGM Grand analyzing this.
She literally, I said, babe, like, come on, I'm not even buzzed. I just want to have another beer. And she goes, sorry. She points up to the fucking camera, like, shh, they're watching. And then, so we said, fuck you guys. We left. We go to the hotel that was next door. We changed clothes, come back in with a hood and a hat on. Let me get a beer. And they knew it was us. And it was a whole to do. The security, or not security, but the manager kicked us out and said, you're banned. So fuck Applebee's. But yeah, so
I'll go back there with you. We'll make a video. We're gonna break this band down.
Let's go. You could be my muscle behind the whole thing.
I'll vomit and shit myself. I'll give them a reason to ban me.
That's what I mean. That's why I wish I pulled my dick out. At least I would have earned it. Fuck.
Yeah.
So all right, Applebee's.
That was Louis' point too.
What is
yes, what is everyone? The problem is no one even like. I don't even know if people know anything to believe. Like what the Federal Reserve being a problem. Like yeah, I guess, but like,
I feel like there's I mean, we're learning, shit about you know what? I was reading about dinosaurs, how wrong we've been on dinosaurs.
What are you reading? Some like Christian fucking. What's the issue with that? What? Tell me.
Just that what we believe dinosaurs to look like based on paleontologists putting together fossils and whatnot. That the Jurassic Park dinosaur that we know, it's like wildly wrong. Like we started to learn.
Okay. I thought you were going to tell me that like they were all put in the ground by Jews or something.
I wish that that would be amazing if we found out that the evolutionists, the creationists of the world were maybe not that whole thing is right. That there's still evolution. Let's not be crazy, but that dinosaurs were concocted and planted, because that is probably as silly as thinking the world was round back then, where you would laugh in someone's face and be like, what are you, a fucking moron?
Yeah, but people knew that the world was like, this is something that gets spread out there, that people thought the world was flat. They knew, the ancient Greeks knew it was round. Like, Columbus didn't do shit.
But it wasn't really widespread belief that it was round?
It was going back to the ancient Greeks. Anyone who's educated knew it. There's a myth that Columbus discovered this. It's all crap.
Well, no. Was it Columbus? I feel like everyone thought, Galileo,
Magellan or whatever. No, it goes back to the Greeks, dude.
But the average Joe Schmo walking the streets thought it was round. Look,
the people were on boats. All
right. Let me go a little more modern then. When cigarettes, when everyone found out cigarettes were bad, and it was like, people were like, that's going to get you sick. And it was like, no way, this is good for you. And then you fast forward 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, whatever. It's like,
that's no one. I don't think anyone was sitting there sucking tar out of a fucking, filter and going, this is great.
I kind of think that there was enough, you're
right. Maybe Diet Coke. Maybe everyone's right in my life, and I'm drinking too much. I'm drinking 2 liters of Diet Coke.
I did love. I feel like we've got enough rapport now that I just love that you whipped out a double. The 2 liter on me is just unbelievable.
It's cost effective.
That shit. Just go with the real deal. What are you doing with the Diet Coke? Give me the regular Coke.
Well, first of all, I'm doing keto, so Mr. Nutritionist.
Okay, you got it.
It tastes better.
Diet Coke is part of ketosis.
Yeah, it works. I piss on strips every day, and it turns purple. Now what?
Wait, no. What is? I just don't know. How does that work? You got. That's how you test if something is keto, or if you're.
You test your piss to see if you're in ketosis.
Got it, and that's when your body's in the right state.
So if I was drinking 2 liters of soda and it wasn't working, I would know.
You know what I hate? Hang on, I'm gonna grab one. I got these little fucking cans. I hate these things. These little babies are such a fucking joke.
If he brings out a baby, I'm signing off.
I don't even know why these goddamn things exist. These little fucking baby ones.
I thought you were gonna actually pull an actual baby out of your garbage can or something.
I mean, what?
Yeah, I don't get that. That's for that's for mixing with alcohol. It's, if you're making like a rum and Coke.
7.5 ounces. This makes me feel like Andre the Giant. That picture he's holding the Coke. I mean,
yeah.
But if you're gonna be doing 2 liters of diet, man, just go for the real deal. Do you like the way diet tastes better?
I do. I think it's more refreshing. I mean, actual soda is just too sweet to me. I mean, maybe it's just some condition now, but it's sludgy. You feel sludgy when you drink. I do, at least.
Oh man, I'm so addicted. This is my full blown addiction. This is as good as it gets to me.
Yeah.
What do you think also is the are you on I mean, you're a pretty big I hate to say conspiracy theorist, but I feel like you and Tim often talk a lot just about things that are the public believes that is wrong, or whatever. You guys do a little more critical thinking or whatever.
Sure.
What is the and also I've heard the way Tim speaks more about you guys, you've been doing it for so long that sometimes it's like, oh, you just learned that 9/11 is a little shady, and you're right. Almost like some of these newcomers.
Yeah, no, I'm also not willing to like go down the rabbit hole of like, I don't care about the Denver airport. Maybe it's not, but like, let's look. I tend to stick to there's enough there of like, that we have actual evidence of that, like we can, demonstrate. So like 9/11 or like the CIA's various coups.
Tell me exactly.
Deep diving.
I didn't know that 9/11 was, until listening to you guys talk about it. I thought that 9/11 was, if you were a 9/11 conspiracy theorist, that you were a kook, that it was pretty far-fetched. The way you guys talk is that it seems like a lot of people have generally accepted that something is off. Is that
a
fair assessment of how you guys look at it?
Yeah, like there's kind of like rings of it. The first ring is just like, well, something's fit. I think a lot of people accept that, like, they might have known. Like, at the very least, people go, like, well, they definitely, because we faked the war afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, and so there's that huge evidence of that.
If there wasn't some grand plan afterwards, it's a little easier to swallow as like it was just a random something. But
so a lot of people kind of accept that, like, at the very least, they exploited it, right? And then there's the people who go, well, maybe they knew ahead of time. And allowed it to happen, but didn't plan it, or like knew they couldn't stop it. There's like
Pearl Harbor type shit.
Yeah. And then, but there's enough weird, like, you can go in online and check out. There's a really long, good documentary called September 11th, The New Pearl Harbor. It came out probably 5 or 6 years ago at this point. Right. It's like 4.5 hours long.
Right.
And it's everything, not everything in there is necessarily, in my opinion, true or like valid, but there's enough weird stuff that happen. Like people love to act like coincidences are like more common than they are. And like, if you study anything like, this much, you'll find these coincidences. And it's like, no, it's only true of like 9/11, the Kennedy assassination, and like, maybe Pearl Harbor or something. Like, there are these random, like, a coincidence is when you go to Barbados and you meet someone from your town.
Right. What are the chances?
Yeah. It's not when like the head of every major, like the FAA, the Homeland Security, whatever. Like there's like 7 different like pertinent department heads in the federal government, like pertinent to like the planes being shot down. They were all like out of the office that day, or like on vacation, or like there was no deputy assigned. Like
doesn't that always
one little thing?
Like wouldn't they have thought of that? Isn't that sloppy?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up. You were about the same age, probably. I grew up with this myth, or whatever, that like, oh, if a plane never went by the White House, there's an anti-aircraft gun, they'll shoot it down. Yeah. What happened to these?
Yeah, so right. Like, where was that?
Yeah, I mean, and like, there's just like it's a lot of it's death by 1,000 cuts. There's a lot. There was the. I used to think I never really understood the flight path thing as like being the crux, like or the fact that like they couldn't make these turns, like but there is a lot of evidence where they are really strange maneuvers too.
Meaning like, what though? Just that they had like a trained pilot.
Well, it's kind of like in the Pentagon, for instance. Like, well, what would be the reason? Well, like why would this guy's doing this weird corkscrew into the Pentagon? Where it makes more sense to do this. Exactly. Why would you do that? Well, if you had a part of the Pentagon that was cordoned off where you wanted to fly a plane into it and was reinforced with like newly reinforced with Kevlar walls or some shit. I don't remember all the details, but there's like that's that kind of makes sense. Like, the only reason you would do that is if you wanted to fly. Again, that's not the crux of the argument. Again, I'm not, and 9/11 is not my, like, I'm not like, dying on the hill at 9/11. It's just pretty. I mean, people go, well, what was the gain? I mean, don't forget, Donald Rumsfeld came out the day before 9/11 going like, hey, we can't find $5 trillion. $5 trillion, not billion, trillion.
$1 trillion.
That's like that.
Misplaced it.
That's money. That's enough money to start a war over. Whatever they did, I don't know exactly. Again, I'm not trying to make the case to your audience here, like here, but it's just there's enough there that's like this is this is not coincidence. I don't know what happened exactly, but something's fishy. You guys, did Kennedy. You guys did this probably. Bobby and look, Bobby and Jack were no saints. They fucking tag team Maryland and shoved pills down his throat till he died. These aren't angels.
That's a pretty. I feel like that one is pretty believable in my book.
Yeah.
Like, see you later, Marilyn. You're talking a little bit too much, babe. How about the idea that Marilyn Manson? Well, what about that urban legend? Marilyn Manson had his ribs removed. You believe that one?
I feel like he would show us if he did.
Yeah, that was always my thing. Is like probably would just be like proud
he would
of
suck his dick on stage.
Yeah, right. What about little Kim? Do you think she got her stomach pumped because she had too much cum in it?
That just doesn't sound right. I mean, I don't think cum is no. How much cum?
Well, you know what's interesting? I grew up.
Think about a milkshake. I mean, I remember I kind of heard this once. I'm not like big on this theory, but think about how much cum you come at once. And think about drinking a big milkshake.
Right.
Just off the top of my head here, but like I'm drinking huge, supersized McDonald's milkshakes, and I had my stomach pumped. And there's no way. I don't care how many guys were coming in her mouth to produce that much cum.
Well, yeah. I mean, the idea was she was on tour with Bad Boy Records, which has like 50 rappers. But yeah, I mean, if you come in like this cup right here, by the way, remember these cups from McDonald's, the Batman?
I remember I used to have those cups. Yeah.
Amazing. Whatever happened to good old, like giveaways like this, like fucking nice glass, real shit. None of that garbage.
9/11 happened.
9/11, fucking 9/11 ruined it. But if I come in this cup, it's barely even fucking filling up the bottom of this. And now you're gonna
50 guys might not fill that cup. That's not a big cup.
You must need to suck 1,000 dicks to get your stomach pumped.
And there's just no way. That's sort of like, I'm not saying if she wanted to do it, I believe she could suck that much cum.
Sure,
I mean, I believe in her. She's
a
hell of a rapper.
Also, any girl who could do that would be able to take it. Like this, the cum wouldn't bother her. She'd be like, yeah.
I don't think that she, little Kim, she's an empowered woman, and if she started to feel a little sick from all the cum, I feel like I don't think she's like powering through the last few dicks.
No,
I think she's,
I'm done.
Also, why can't you vomit? I mean, there's a reason.
Maybe she was drunk. Maybe drugs alongside of it, and then you need the stomach pump.
Yeah, so maybe it was the whatever drugs, the Vicodin or the whatever, not the.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny if that's where the urban legend came from? She was just loaded up with fucking propofol or some shit, and also blue Biggie, and that's where it came from. She needed her stomach. But what's funny too is I grew up on Here He Goes, Little Kim, and I interviewed somebody recently, a little bit older, and he was like, "Oh, when I grew up, it was Rod Stewart who sucked."
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
Pump. So it's just you pick the whoever's the
and Richard Gere with the gerbil in his ass, right?
That we are debating getting a pet gerbil for the podcast and naming it Richard. How about that? Will you try that once? You once sucked a dick. Will you put a gerbil in your ass once?
Well, look, I mean, the dick didn't bite my insides.
That's what I don't get. What even would be the enjoyment of having a fucking animal eating and clawing?
Now you mentioned it, probably you're right. It probably does feel good. I'll grant you that, but then if it gets a little too anxious, I mean, I've seen perforated bowels at the morgue. I've seen people who's like they're fucked to death with objects. So yeah, I mean, it's not a great way to go.
What's the worst way?
Shit leaks into your blood. You get sepsis.
Is that the worst way? Worst cause of death you witnessed?
Yeah.
Perforated bowels.
Yeah, well, it was a rape type thing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say from people putting things in your ass.
No, it was a try. He might have been beaten to death for all.
I'll be honest. That's absolutely atrocious. Jesus Christ Almighty! Holy cow!
I started bringing the mood down.
Woof. I mean, we were on a roll, but that certainly was the worst. Okay, we'll wrap up here. I could talk to you forever, but I want to take all your time. What do you think is the newest or most intriguing quote unquote conspiracy, or just something that you think outside the box a little bit that you think people are missing?
I mean, I gotta be honest, it's just not fun anymore. There's like this QAnon shit. It's just dumb. And
that got so stupid. I almost feel like if you were a conspiracy theorist, again, I keep saying in quotes because it now has this connotation. But if you were the type to do a little more critical thinking and not believe what was just spoon fed to you. And then you got these dumb fucking idiots who come along and join your side. It's like when you're arguing with your friend and your one dickhead friend is in agreement with you, and you're like, no, stay on the other side. I don't even fucking want you. You know.
Well, me and Tim had a theory about this. We were talking about in LA one time. It was just like how like basically because we were talking about all this stuff for years, stuff like Epstein. We weren't surprised by it because we've been talking about the Franklin scandal and all these other kind of Johnny Gosh and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But like and before that, we're just cynical people. But like just telling people out there who just believe that we're the country that won World War II and we're apple pie and baseball, and all of a sudden, multiple presidents are fucking kids of Jeffrey Epstein, and people just their brains broke. They didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, it's like how do you go? You go from this Norman Rockwell thing in your head to that. Yeah, and like so, it's like it's not surprising that QAnon in that context. That
what that Jeffrey Epstein's Island was the the Rosetta Stone sort of unlocking all this, where it's like they just forever can now point to, well, you used to tell me this was fake and that, look how that unfolded. But the leap from those things to Biden and Trump face swapped, and there's that.
I like to think they're fucking.
Bob Kennedy's gonna come back from the dead. Like, that's where it's like, come on.
I don't believe anyone's theory, but I want to start a theory that Biden and Trump are fucking. Put that out in the world.
Okay, well, let's do that here to wrap things up. You can flesh that idea out. What, how, where, like who, what, when, where, why on this one?
Delaware, Atlantic City, they're just fucking on the train. I don't care.
They just out of like, it's
just hot. It's hot to me.
They were, they got to know each other during the campaigning and the election, and just always had a thing for each other. The debates, they got a little hot and heavy, shaking hands, kind of giving each other a pat on the ass. Next thing you know, who's topping and who's bottoming on that?
They're shoving their assholes together and shitting into each other's assholes.
Oh, wow. You really took it there. Okay. Almost like a reverse human.
They're two presidents. So you got to tell one to be the top. Whoever wants to be the top. I don't know.
Well, you're right. It's almost got to be like, you ever hear about when in the Fast and the Furious movies, when there's a fight scene, everyone's such an egotistical asshole that like, if I punch you, you've got to punch me. If I go through a glass table, you got to go through a glass table. So everything stays even. So it's like you can top for a little while, but then I got to bottom. We got to make sure it's all even.
Yeah, I don't get this whole like it's just fucking. It's like baseball. You got top and bottom in the end.
Yeah, everybody gets a shot. First, who's up? Like last licks. It all evens out.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you? And so you turned on by that? You would you would jerk off to a Biden Trump sex tape?
Wait, you're telling me that if I showed you a sex tape of Donald Trump and Joe Biden, you would just watch it and not like? I'm not saying I'm actually turned off by it.
I will watch anybody fuck. I will watch your sex tape, Ray. I don't think I would jerk off. Listen, if something turns me on, if I put it on and my dick gets hard, I'll crack it off. I'll blast one off.
I'm not saying I'm not trying to make the open-ended thing. You should come to anything. But I'm saying if I showed you Trump fucking Biden or Biden fucking Trump, you don't want to come to that?
I don't want to come to that, Ray.
You're gonna live in life.
You know what it is? You are brainwashed, and you gotten too deep in the political world. Now you're getting hot and heavy for two 900-year-old men fucking each other. if I showed you just two old men off the street fucking, would you be turned on by that? No, but
they're not present. Look, people are attracted to powerful, rich men.
Yeah, you want the power. A common thing. Okay, all right, I get it. You're a little slut for the power.
It's also the novelty of it. Come on.
Well, that's why I would watch it and get a kick out of it, but I don't think I'd fuck. I don't think I'd jerk off.
Look, I'm not saying it would make me come like as quick as the Flash, but
you have to work for it. You have to get there. Who would you rather fuck, Biden or Trump?
Biden. He's a I don't know what's going on with Trump. It's not a political thing. He's just there's a dark energy to him.
Oh yeah.
Biden, I feel like he wouldn't remember. The problem with Biden is he going to remember who I am halfway through, and then all of a sudden it's a problem.
Right. I don't think many, if at all, billionaires or millionaires kill themselves. But if there were to be a case, like, couldn't you see Trump offing himself? It's just it's a weird Like they kind of did a pretty. They've been
Steve
pretty
Bank
successful.
Jumped off a building, didn't he? Like last year, or that guy who was connected. He was a billionaire. He lost a lot of money, but he was connected with Clinton.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He didn't jump?
Right. Yeah.
You know I mean, like, because no matter you can be down in the dumps and go through some bad problems as a billionaire, but you know when you got okay, let me times are tough. Let me go to my fucking yacht in the Mediterranean before you jump off a fucking building. But Trump, I mean, they've been pretty successful at deplatforming him and turning down the star. You know, the bright star has been it's dimmed, and you know what I mean. Like he was at the UFC fight a couple weeks ago, and they didn't even put him up like. You know, they're putting MGK and the Kardashian girls and all the football players they're in the house tonight and everyone cheers. Yeah. They don't put a fucking former president up there. It's like it's.
I thought you were gonna say because they're gonna put him in jail or kill him. You think he's gonna kill himself over that?
I think he is fueled by the popularity and the attention and it's gone.
I mean, I think he's more likely just like. I mean, I don't know why a guy like Trump doesn't just grab a gun and start going into crowds like he said he would. And start shooting, didn't he say he go to Times Square and shoot people and he get away with it?
Yeah,
why doesn't he try that?
Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and they'd still elect the mayor or they'd still whatever.
I mean,
prove it, you pussy, prove it.
I mean, you want to make America great or not? Or not? Or what? Come on,
put your money where your mouth is, fat boy. All right, man. So it's got to have been a wild ride for you as well. I mean, Tim, obviously, meteoric rise after grinding it out, but you've kind of been you guys used to officially have a show together, or were you always
not for a couple of years.
You were just making appearances on his show, or
I come on there periodically and and we hash it out, but I have my own podcast, Kump. You can find it on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And
and your social is Ray Kump?
At Ray Kump. Yeah,
at Ray Kump, man. I mean, you are one of the funniest out there. I get a kick out of it. What I love most, I mean, listening to people who are funny, who are well-informed, more so than yourself, I think is always interesting because, throughout all the humor and ridiculousness, there's also you guys know what you're talking about. You're always making some salient points. So I appreciate it, man.
That was a great conversation. Thank you.
I enjoyed it, man. Don't be a stranger. And we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Sure thing.
Have a good one, bro.
You too.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure that you click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and leave a comment below. I'll chop it up with you in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about today's episode, as well as what you want to hear in the future.